to wall as broken bones shining through. With every click his fame would soar in the realm of Trovo. He'd always go from the dungeons deep to the battles won. Broken Bone Street, second to none. Broken Bone, the legend's name. Streaming glory, fortune and fame. On Trovo stage he takes the crown. With every viewer he takes us down. Through pixelated walls he roamed. Virus altars digital. With laughter, joy and epic tales. Broken Bone Street never fails. From sunrise till the break of day. As one fans they always stay. In the realm of Trovo he's the king. They never give his pledges did to the broken bone. The legend's name. Streaming glory, fortune and fame. On Trovo stage he takes the crown. With every viewer he takes us down. So it's the broken bone, a live stream king. Creatures all around, the praises we sing. On Trovo stage, over wherever rain. The legend left stream, I'm never in vain.
Yo, yo, yo! What's up, lovely ladies and gents? Digimon Broken back again, once again. Here today for episode 4 of What's the Point with our man Dem Klaus in the house, who will be shortly joining in the chat. I just obviously wanted to say hello to everyone beforehand. Make sure everyone is having a great day. Catch up with all the lovelies. Hey, Adri, hope you're doing well, honey. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Oh, it is another toasty day here in the UK. Oh my god, another absolute toaster. But at least it's not as hot as it has been, which is always a pleasure. So hopefully today my laptop will not randomly explode. That would be nice. That would be nice. Hey, appreciate that, Adri. Appreciate the love, my dear. Make sure we just pop this down here. Hotter there, yeah, it would not surprise me. Obviously, I'm sure Klaus also is suffering in the heat with living out in the bloody desert ends and all that sort of stuff. Not my particular cup of tea, that is for sure. That is for sure. Yeah, I hope your day's been going good. Off to a great start. I'm just literally getting everything turned on, warmed up, all that sort of shit. Make sure it is organised correctly, because you know how OBS likes to play up with us. No matter what we have to do, whether it be an important day or an absolutely non-important day. So, yeah, we're going to be hopping into chat with the lovely Klaus very, very shortly. You've got dry heat, yeah, I bet. Yeah, drier than an onion chuff. Yo. Okay. I'll have a quick smokety smoke, and I'll make sure I've got my. You got me in chat, Klaus? I'll pop in whenever you're ready, bruv. Oh, want to have a quick smokety smoke of one. Yeah, we're going to be obviously waffling on about the general waffles that we have today, which is trying to figure out what the point is. And by the end of the chat, I don't think anyone will know. We will try and get to get to the bottom of some things, and likely just get buried in amongst all of the waffle. Factual information. So, alright, make sure my Discord's open. Lovely. Oh, let me go and say hello. Boom, boom.
What are we doing, y'all? We're waiting for the motherfucking balls. Welcome to the What's the Fucking Point?
Fucking
you know
A.
What I'm saying? What the fuck is the point?
You just
now
actually scared the crap of me.
Speak the name, thou shalt rise.
Mm-hmm.
Do you hear that?
That's it.
That, y'all?
You do.
I
It's
was
a
just
magic
doing the
power
What's
that
the
we
Point
have.
intro, and you just come right in.
I thought I would come in and just catch you off guard. I wanted to get a little bit of the waffle in
Barge
my
right
ear.
in and ruin the take. Let's run it back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we've managed to get a decent intro out
Leave it to
so far,
Bones.
so we'll stick with that. Yeah. Yep, definitely leave it to me. I tell you, holy smokes. Yeah, hope you're having a good day, everyone.
Yo, man.
It is
Have a good Saturday. You doing all right?
sweating me fucking bollocks off, as per standard. I'm hoping to God that OBS doesn't shut down or my laptop doesn't catch on fire, but we'll see. It's going to be one of those days. Definitely one of those days. Oh, I was going to ask you, because we were literally just talking about some of the new Predator movies. You were mentioning the 28 Years Later. Did you get down to see it?
No, not yet. It came out yesterday.
Oh, did it? Oh, I've been trying not to watch any reviews so far because there's a lot.
Yeah,
online.
I didn't want to watch any reviews either. I didn't want anybody to fuck up, give me their opinions or whatnot. I've been riding that train since the beginning, so I'm going to give my own fresh take on it. You know what I mean? I'm going to watch all of it and give whatever. But, funny enough, I think it was you who somebody said it that they missed 28 months.
Yes. And they're supposed to be, apparently...
They went 28 weeks, then they went to 28 years. Like, they missed 28 months.
Well, this is meant to be, I think, coming down the line. So this was potentially, if this movie does well, it's going to be one of 3 more movies that are being made around the series. So that's going to be interesting. I don't know exactly how they're going to do that.
Okay.
But I assume 28 months later might be one, which would be like a slight prequel. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? It's one of those where all these should have a prequel to it because you're going to have to catch people up,
Well, I want to see the 28 hours later, like the ground zero, you know what I mean? Because when we saw 28 days later, that it was already...
Everything's
the guy
already
wakes
kind
up
of
in
almost,
London. It's already gone.
Has hit. I mean, that was a dope intro for its time.
That was amazing.
Hey, the way
how
that
difficult
you
it was
came,
to
the way
film.
you all did that fucking angle that came to you, and then you said that they shut down. That shit looked crazy.
Yeah, shut down London.
That happens here. Like I Am Legend, we shut down New York, bro, so we can get that full New York look like it was desolate. Like they shut down New York for that.
They have to do it so early in the morning though as well, which is just as dawn cracks. So because they need to get the right lighting for the shot.
Yeah, the lighting,
To
everything.
not be a nuisance. You know what I mean? Yeah.
A lot of filmmakers use miniatures. I don't know if you know that. So a whole city can be built miniature, and we use that as filming too. But I like when they use actual real location, and they shut down New York for that. I was like, damn, they done that a couple times in New York, just shut down a few things. But
I find it wild. So I don't know if you know this. It's not a spoiler, but just
I've accidentally walked into a lot of sets on accident, bro. You know what I mean? You just
you said about
2
that.
in the morning. You're walking because you're having a good time, and you take a corner. Next thing you know, you're in the middle of a set, bro.
There's a lot of the Star Wars sets out in like Nevada desert and stuff like that. They just
Yeah.
left them there.
They do a lot of
like from like Tatooine and stuff like that.
A lot of desert scenes.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny because
But
I look up and I'm like, I see cameras, I see lights, and then I see people in the distance waving their hands like, get the fuck off, like moving.
Yeah,
I'm saying nobody's saying nothing. And I'm just like, what's going on? Next thing you know, I move over, a whole group of people grab me, they give me a paper and a pen, tell me to sign this shit, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, what's going on? You're in a movie set, bro. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You know a guy named Chris Daughtry?
I can't say I do. I do.
He was kind of big in the mid 2000s. He won a show called American Idol, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know.
He became a musician, and then he became he was big in MTV and everything. He became a musician. He was huge. Well, anyway, he was doing this show, and I didn't know that. I got to see Chris Daughtry right there. He's short as fuck. I didn't know that, but when I saw him, I was like, oh shit, this is some real shit right here. Okay, I gotta get out of this. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was called The Passion of Christ. Apparently, it was a mini TV show.
I've seen that. I've seen the actual movie, The Passion of Christ.
Right.
And who was in that? It was like, is it Tom Cruise or someone like that? Who
Yeah,
the
it's
fuck
kind of
was in that
religious. It was
movie?
kind of religious and a lot of singing
Yeah, yeah.
involved and everything. Makes sense since he's a singer, but just walking onto the set and going, "What the fuck?" Didn't even know because I was just out having a
That
good
was
time,
an
bro.
interesting movie. Oh, Adriana says that she thought he was on like the 7th or 8th of those shows and didn't
Mel
win.
Gibson did the Passion of Christ.
Yeah, it was Mel Gibson. That was it. Yeah, that movie was weird, man. That was just like 3 hours of just watching someone getting like.
To be
beaten.
honest, that movie was very accurate. I mean, Mel Gibson is
yeah,
Jewish,
oh god,
you know
yeah,
what
it
I'm
was
saying?
harsh.
So
Yeah, it was
he hit the
harsh.
accuracy to the fullest. That's what
Yeah.
caused the controversy of the movie. But I was like, hey, you guys want to talk religion, but when somebody actually tells you the real shit of it's different,
Yeah,
right?
what actually happened? Yeah.
Religion ain't just
Mhm.
happy, fun, go lucky. Like, no, it's hard, it's dark,
No,
it's
back
deep.
in the day, it was.
They got shit in there.
You know. It was an interesting movie. That was.
I think
Was it
personally his
Tom was
best
not the
one
Passion,
was
was it?
Apocalypto. I like that. That was the story of Jaguar Paul. That was crazy.
No, that was it. He directed it, so he didn't star in it. He was the
Oh
director.
no, I know
of
he
it,
didn't
wasn't
star in it. He
That was
directed, but that's his
Yeah,
story,
sorry,
right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
okay,
it is,
yeah. That's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say. Yeah, that's his story. That's I like that story. That story is crazy.
Yeah, it's cool. Apocalypto was an insanely good movie.
The only thing that's
That
wrong
was
with that is
so
that
good.
Mel Gibson's an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Because he's racist. So he did that to try to
Mel
say that
Gibson.
he's not racist or not. Just because you did beautiful artwork doesn't mean your opinion
Right.
changed. You fucking idiot. You're a racist, bro. But anyway,
Well,
it's a dope ass movie. I was like, yo, it's a dope ass movie though. You know,
some of the
he
most
hit it on the
creative
fucking nail.
people,
Jaguar
are
Paul
the
was
wildest. You know what I
hardcore.
mean? Yeah.
You know, when she's in that,
Yeah,
she's in the
yeah,
hole
oh,
giving birth
I'm
and the
giving
water's
birth.
filling up, yo, that intense. I was like,
And
get
the
out of
kid,
here.
like the kid in there with him, and it's
Right.
like
And to
they don't even
survive,
know.
that's what I'm telling you.
And there's still the other tribe, fucking
Oh
one of
yeah,
them
he's
trying to
gotta
hunt
worry
her
about another
down.
tribe, and he's fighting in between.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that's a crazy
Oh,
movie,
man,
man.
that was
Crazy.
such an
And the crazy
intense-
thing, there's
yeah,
no
so
English.
intense.
That's what I liked about it.
No, yeah. Oh, but the dude who can't get his missus pregnant, and they come after the hunt, and he's like, "I got this stuff for you." You know what I mean? And then she comes running out. He comes running out, jumps in the trough, like, oh, fucking him, giving him some like fucking, I don't know, itching shit or whatever.
Oh, I know
That
that
is
he's the hardest.
funniest thing.
Jaguar Paul.
It's
like,
so
yeah, man,
relatable,
he's
man.
staying on
It's
his
so
own.
relatable in weird ways.
Staying on his own. Get your shit. But no, it was a crazy
That was
movie.
insane as well.
was a
God, yeah, when they're shooting them, like, and they get this firing range basically, and they're like run, and they're getting arrows at them, spears at them, and Matey's managing to slip and slide, and it's just like, oh, he going.
Oh,
And then
Jaguar
they get
Paul
to
ain't
the
no
shore.
joke, man. He ain't no
But
joke.
then they get to the shore, and the ships are rolling up from the Spanish, and they'd never seen nothing like that before. And you
Nothing.
know, oh, that's the beginning of their problems. Holy shit! Like, you thought it was bad back then, it's about to get a whole lot fucking worse.
Hey, you want to
It's
know
like,
something
I
crazy?
would've
Fun
loved to have
fact:
seen that.
John
the
Smith
second
was
one.
45. Pocahontas was 13. Just so you know.
Yep. Yeah, that's correct. 100%. People forget about these things.
Yeah, they don't forget. They just don't think about it because
Ignorant
other
to it.
propaganda. When Disney made a movie, and you see so many things that you feel that run over things, but when you find out actual origins, you're like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's how dark that
Yeah.
shit is.
Mm-hmm. What was the oh god, it was such a good movie. It's about the guy who was with the wolves. And he was like living in
Dancing with Wolves. Which ones? There's a
Dancing
few
with Wolves.
different
Yeah,
ones.
Dancing with Wolves. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Dances
Kevin
with Wolves.
Costner.
Yeah,
Beast.
yeah, because he's out on his own for ages,
Legend,
and this
yeah.
tribe's always watching him, and that they ended up like you gave him the name, Dances with Wolves.
Dancing with
that's like what
Wolves.
they used to say,
Yeah.
dude.
The
Yeah, it was
wolves, yo,
such a cool
those are
movie, man.
beautiful wolves, bro. Those are rare wolves, man.
Oh yeah.
They just sit out there in the Arctic like they're crazy.
Well, that happened in your state, Adriana, and they have a Pocahontas State Park near you.
That's
Interesting.
dope. That's cool as fuck. Okay.
Mhm.
You know what a crazy story is? At least for like America over here. I think the story of motherfucking Lois and Clark and fucking what's her name? Fuck, what's her name? She's almost like Pocahontas, but anyway, that story is crazy how they walked across America because the trains weren't even made yet.
Oh,
Hey,
I
let's
don't
go,
know
Slick.
that. No, I don't know that story.
Oh, it's a crazy
it's up
story. The
stars,
Lois
bro.
and Clark. That's insane, bro. It's on the frontier. That they nobody believed them, and they said there's things out there, there's people, and then they met a tribe, and they ran into what's her name, the Sequoia tribe, and they gave her, she guided them across. It was her, she was guiding them. It was crazy, you know what I'm saying? They're just fucking explorers. Is a crazy story.
That's insane.
And they went across America like at the raw time, the frontier time, where animals pretty much ran shit, not people.
Well, they still roamed like running everything, you know what I mean? And back then, that was like, there's not many places now to this day that haven't been explored or mapped in some fashion.
Yeah, in a way, humans have come over. I mean, we let animals coincide with us, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. We allow it.
Right, we allow that shit now. Before, they dominated us. That's why I'm saying those stories are crazy, Dancing with Wolves and whatnot, because the animals did control. Like it was man versus the beast. You know what I'm saying? Farmers in those times, savage. To take care of their family, to take care of their stock, to take care of their things, and have not animals, savage.
That's why you got the right to have arms. You know what I mean?
Well, at that time, there was no law like
your land,
that. We didn't create a law to control, in a way, guns until a long time.
So you had to think about it.
The Second Amendment.
But a lot of the time, you had to have a gun just to be able to fucking protect your shit. You know
everybody was living wild west, so guns were like a natural thing. You know what I'm saying? It was never.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just gave a control because when they started creating a nation, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the forefathers created. Put a speculation, but before that, everybody was just savagery. You know, it was survival of the fittest.
Yeah,
yes,
you want it, you take
weapon,
it. Yeah, you want it,
you better than you. Yeah. My shit is better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why the Indians were bugged out, because guns. They were like, "What the fuck is this?" Because they mastered fucking what you call guerrilla warfare,
and bow and arrow and what? Yeah. Oh my god,
they mastered that shit.
Insanely good. And also, I think for a long time, people, I don't know, because this is
between the Sioux and the Apache are probably the two most deadliest fucking Indian tribes ever. The Sioux and the Apache, like, and I think they battle. No, I'm sorry, not the Sioux, the Comanche and the Apache are the two nastiest, craziest Indian tribes for battle.
Well, the fucking Native American tribes. Sorry, do you know that? Do you know why? For some reason, we called them Indians for ages when we went over there. It's because when we originally went to try and find that land, or whoever settled it first, they were looking for India, and they thought they'd found India.
Oh, India! That's okay. That actually makes sense. That actually makes sense. The racist bullshit didn't come because it's just like I said. It's not really racism. It's more ignorance, and it turned into racism because ignorance was ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys want to hear something really fucking crazy? This is insane. The word marijuana. When you hear that, you don't think of anything horrible, but that origin starts from a racist term to Mexicans. Back in the 19 or in the like late 1800s, but somehow, some way, that word transformed itself that you will never ever think racism, marijuana ever connected ever, unless I told you the origin. The reason why they called them that is because the English couldn't understand the Mexican language, and they were smoking weed, and they would just hear them say marijuana. So they started, hey, marijuana. It was supposed to be a racist term, but then somewhere in history, something happened with weed, and it derived the different terminology from what it was originally supposed to be from, because it was just the ignorance. It's just they didn't know what they were saying, and they just kept repeating that word. They would just call them that. Crazy, right?
Is the word itself then? Was that their native native word for?
Well, marijuana for cannabis. Marijuana means cannabis. Cannabis. You know that. It's
exactly.
Plant, you know
I assume that. Obviously, but you know what I mean. I was like, did we use that for a period of time as like a derogatory term?
No, yes, it was ignorant. It was ignorant because racism was born later. It came with ignorance. People don't understand that at the time. The only knowledge you had is where your location was. You didn't know anything else unless you traveled. You know what I'm saying? That's why
Facts.
moving around
Facts.
and doctors were important because they actually knew not you when you saw them, you were like, that's a smart person. It was crazy. So
Yeah.
Listen, the Wild West, the frontier times, that's crazy, man. When you had to travel to the market to come back, it'd take you a week. What we do in a week,
Yeah.
and people,
Oh, yeah.
they didn't know if they were coming back. They had to tell their family every time they left, hey, this might be, I'm coming just to go get food and come back. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, what's the movie? It's a fucking brilliant movie where the bear attacks Matey Boy, fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, and they're out pelting.
That's a crazy movie too, based
Yeah,
on a
that's
true
so
story.
good. Yes,
Revenant, like that.
Yeah,
Crazy.
Revenant. No, it's Revenant. Yeah, it's so because
what a real
that's
crazy
probably one of the
one
most visceral bear attacks I've ever
This
seen.
is Anthony Hopkins and motherfucking Alec Baldwin. Badass. It's called The Hunt.
Oh,
It's about this fucking bear that gets a taste of blood, and they're out. They're kind of rich. They go out to the cabin to enjoy themselves. Of course, there's some inner drama because it's a movie. Da 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 da. But
the
basis of it is that the bear. They wind up getting lost out there, and the bear pretty much chases them through the whole thing. And they're like, "Yo, we gotta get rid of this bear, or he's on our ass the whole time."
Oh my god. Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Woo, boy.
He sleeps. Yeah, he does sleep in the bear in Revenant. Yeah. Oh man, I love movies like that are like they have like a real touch of realness.
I'm gonna kill that motherfucker.
Anthony Hopkins.
That was like his famous line in that movie. I'm gonna kill that.
He's so good. I love Anthony Hopkins. He's such a great actor.
Yeah, he's a fucking OG.
He's of that generation though, where it's like,
he went out with a bang though. I'm glad you don't really see him on camera anymore because he's older. You know what I'm saying? He's really older. He's time for him to enjoy himself, sit back behind the scenes. He does great cinema though.
Did you ever see what happened to Brendan Fraser? So Brendan Fraser was the guy.
He came back. They tried to do something. I don't know. Brandon.
Yeah,
He
had like
he was good in the
a
late
divorce
90s,
that was just horrific.
Going to the
It was
but
massive.
They kind of blackballed him.
Yeah. It was because of a divorce he was going through. They fucking completely blacklisted him out of Hollywood. Yeah. And not only that,
the dude
when he came back and done that.
The dude was that dude. He was doing adventure movies. He had fucking funny movies. Like he was all right. You know what I mean? He was actually good shape, too. And then all of a sudden, like you said, the personal behind the scenes, the divorce, to this, to that, they blackballed him and he got kind of fucked up.
Well, he come back fucking to do that movie, The Whale, which is critically acclaimed.
Was another propaganda setup. But
yeah, I mean, it was nice to see like a comeback and the whole of fucking, the whole of the stadium when he got that done, like a 5-minute standing ovation for him, which is crazy. You know what I mean? When he won that award for like the best movie or best actor for The Whale. Yeah. And like the Whale movie was, I don't know. It was weird, man.
That was a petty. You need money type shit. Rich people do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I don't know. It was interesting to see, like, because a lot of people talk about this in Hollywood being like completely blacklisted.
Yeah, it happened
out of nowhere. Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, it's insane.
Population thing. You know what I'm saying? You're literally getting paid to fucking read off things and act. Acting is not that difficult. Now, when you get into certain type of acting that they need you to do, like for cues, like cry on cue, or maybe go extravagant and fucking get naked and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to say acting is easy, but acting is easy. Yeah, I mean, if you're not, streamers can act. If you can sit in front of a camera,
exactly.
You can act. You know what I'm saying? Without even knowing it, you can act. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. Yeah. 100% agree with that. Like, it's almost like it is a minor form of acting. You're basically you host your own TV show.
And a lot of these actors that kind of came up in our time, to be honest, their method is improv. So
yeah,
their shit is improv. They're real funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know what to do kind of on spot instead of reading from an actual script that's written to them. And
Jim Carrey,
a lot of movies have
great example.
That been classics like that. And they respect that art form. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest, Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, a lot of fucking improv, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Mostly improv, yeah.
He's a beast with it. It's a lot of improv, a lot of move on, and they take the clips and they edit it and go, you know what? That's fucking good. Let's do this. And they edit great. You know what I'm saying?
Weirdly though, that's a lot of how like Jack Black's style was back in the day.
No,
And
I
he
think
he had
Jack
made a
Black was
state.
literally
Yeah,
was no, no. Jack Black was a musician, so he had the he had
he
the
has
musician
improv.
status with him, but he actually had to act. They
Yeah.
didn't really give him a lot of lines. They just let him be him
Mm,
because he's more of a different actor. He's extravagant. What you call that?
yeah.
They try to say
I know what you mean.
overactor. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Yeah,
overacting. You're
yeah,
adding
yeah,
too much to it.
yeah.
Jim Carrey was kind of on that thing.
He was.
Robin Williams was there. Who
Yeah.
else? Like
Interestingly though, Jack Black made a
them people
statement.
were Chris Farley, like them people are really over the top type actors, and that's a different form because that's comedy with the way they act.
It is, but some of the like as I say, one of the things he stated, which is a little bit later down his career, is a lot of the times when he was doing movies, he would just throw out jokes all the time, and he said none of them hit 90% of the time, but the ones that did end up in the film. You know, he's like
That's
he said,
funny.
you know, it's like throwing shit at a wall, basically.
Yeah,
He
the
said
best
some will stick.
the best thing that I've
It's
ever
like, oh
seen
man,
was Robin Williams' first interview tape to some director, some big director, and I swear to God, bro, this is fucking the best fucking shit. So Robin Williams comes in, right, and the
Robin Williams
director
is
literally
brilliant.
isn't
Yeah.
just being this dull guy, and he's like, Robin Williams has to say one word. That's it. That's all he's got to say is one word. Robin Williams made this shit so badass and so gangster. So he comes in and he does Robin Williams. He does a weird voice, da-da-da. And the director is just like, listen, Robin, I just need you to say this word. Just this one word. Let's go back. This dude goes through like 50 takes, bro. It's crazy. Robin is just being
That's
Robin.
funny.
And
Yeah.
at the end of the interview, the director bugs out. He says, you'll never work in this fucking in this profession ever. Da-da-da-da-da. Robin Williams, biggest actors you've ever seen. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah.
He didn't
Rip
say
Robin.
that one word. He came in and gave a performance for like 50 takes, and the director was just wanted him to say that one word, and that's it. Robin became famous
Well,
off that shit. That's crazy, bro.
interestingly, that director should say, "Wow, now I've got 50 takes to find the one that I like." You know what I mean? Instead of
Bro, he was. It's
come
it's
on,
strange
that's
because
perfect. Yeah.
when it comes to directing, you're director, so it's your vision. It's not what somebody else sees. I guess
I
you
get
what
that.
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I get that.
But
Yeah, I get
Robin
that.
broke the mold because, like I said, he's at an interview, bro, and you got to say one word. They could have kicked him out, but they kept going for some strange reason, and he was a beast with every take. Was hilarious. All his different voices, all the whatever. He even dissed the fucking director, and that's when it was like, all right, dude, you'll never profession again, da 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 da. And he wind up being the biggest fucking actor, you know, iconic.
He's one of my favorite
comedian.
actors. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't have a dad. Robin Williams raised me. You know what I'm saying? He was my dad. He was my on-movie dad. You know what I'm saying? He was funny.
Oh
crazy.
my god. Some of the stuff he done back in the day. There's like, do you see the movie that I think it's called Ben, where it's like he's born really old and then he gets younger throughout his life? It's so
Benjamin Button.
fucking
I've seen
weird.
that.
It might be Benjamin. No,
I
it's
think
not
that's
Benjamin
Brad
Button.
Pitt,
No,
though.
no, it's not. It's one way before this.
Oh,
Way
there is.
before
Okay,
this.
no, I never seen that.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
only seen that one.
Yeah, it's way before that, and he's like, he ends up because he's so big, and he's going up in. It's not called Ben. What's it called? He's where he's like really old but very young. It's Jake. Okay, it's called Jake.
Oh,
Okay.
Jack. Yeah, Jack.
Jack. Yeah, Jack. That's it. Yeah,
Jack,
yeah.
I know what you're talking
And they
about.
fall
now,
out of the
Jack.
treehouse
Yeah,
with
yeah,
all
I
the
was
kids in
seeing it,
because he's
going
too
through my
heavy.
catalog,
Yeah,
like,
I'm trying to think.
You're
Yeah,
talking
like,
about Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, another great movie. You know, obviously everyone loves things like Mrs. Doubtfire and stuff like that from back in the day, but that was like,
Yeah, but those are classics. But like,
yeah,
my
I mean,
favorites,
come on,
dude,
like,
are like when Robin was really Robin, like fucking serious Robin. You ever seen What Dreams May Come? Woo! You want to
yes.
get a tear
Oh my
jerker?
God.
You want to get a tear
He's
jerker?
he's
Woo!
also in
What is
he's
Dead
in the one
Poets
about
Society?
the
Ooh, classics, bro.
what's the one with the guy who's autistic, who's like a cleaner, and then
That's
he
in
does the
Goodwill. I
equation
think
on
that's Goodwill Hunting.
Goodwill Hunting. Yeah. Where it's like he's a teacher.
Yeah,
And he has to kind of-
because,
yeah.
Things of genius or whatnot, and they teaches them whatnot. Is
Yeah.
that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's it.
How
Because the
about-
guy's just a
Listen,
cleaner.
how
You know what I
about,
mean?
the story
Yeah.
of the doctor? That's real in Vermont. Fucking what is it?
Is it?
Patch Adams. That's another tearjerker.
Yeah. That's literally what Adriana just says, "I love Patch Adams." Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
fucking
okay.
A.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm telling you, Patch Adams,
Okay,
another
okay. I
tearjerker.
don't know if I've seen that one. I
It's a
can't
true
say off the top of
story.
my.
It's a
I
true
probably, if
story.
I've seen it,
Crazy.
I would see. Yeah. Mm.
Hospital's still going to this day, but the way it was formed and the way it was and what happened and whatnot is crazy. It's like, damn, Adam. But hey,
I find movies super interesting. Like, obviously, they can elicit more emotion than certain other films of media for myself personally. Because obviously I'm quite heavily dyslexic, so obviously I can read, but I find reading quite a bit of a chore sometimes.
yeah.
In a weird fashion, you know what I mean? I prefer my media visually in certain areas, but then obviously I've spent a lot of time gaming, and like some of the stuff where you can spend games maybe 100 fucking hours in a game. You know what I mean? Where it draws such weird long-term nostalgia or like memories that movies do have, but are kind of missing a little bit, which is nice when you get like a decent, for example, Dune come out now, which is a game adaptation of obviously a book that has become a movie multiple times and now is a game. I think that's probably like the future of media for people nowadays. If these things can be adapted well, and you can do it well, that's where you're gonna get like the ones
you
that are
just
gonna
don't want
fucking
to be
last
human
forever.
no more. You just want to be totally controlled, don't you?
I mean, it'll be a lot easier.
You know, that's what virtual reality is
It'll
gonna
be
turn. It's gonna turn for 'em, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it will probably. How close do you think we actually are to native virtual reality? Because I'll tell you this one thing, yeah. This was in 1999, I think it was. It was just before the year 2000, when I'm still getting magazines about gaming and stuff like this. They're talking about slip mat tech. So these concaved bowls that you have slip shoes and you're held in by a device, and it's VR in 1999. Now,
Yeah,
obviously, these things are
I've
now
tried one. I've
available on the
tried one in a
market.
big
Yeah,
arcade. I've tried them throughout the
yeah.
years. They're all right. Some have a suit
But this
where
was.
you know you feel realistic, and that's where they got to figure out because they don't want people having heart attacks
Mhm.
when you die in a game. You know what I'm saying? Because of the
Oh,
realisticness.
facts, yeah.
So, but they have
Or
suits
even the stress on the
make you
body, you know what I mean?
feel certain points. You know what I mean? So say that you will not. So
Yeah.
it's getting pretty realistic.
Hazmatic suits,
The
yeah.
base that rotates ain't bad. I played one in a
Yeah.
big giant arcade, and it
But
had
how is
like
it?
a
How did it take?
theater screen.
I think it was only maybe 2022, 2023. These were actually available for people to use. I'm reading about them in a magazine as if they're available in 1999. I'm like, what the fuck
I don't know.
happened to
Again,
that?
these were like big ass arcade places that I went and I saw one. Like
Yeah.
there was one that had the big car, a real car, the real vet that you could get in and drive. They had the big giant dome that you're talking about. That you could do the screen. So I haven't seen them been in homes or whatnot, unless some real rich people got
There
some
is.
fancy shit. But
They're
there
about
is
10 grand, I think.
there is you
Mm.
know virtual realities out there to fucking be given. There's a lot of shit that's like introduced in the malls.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've seen. Well, so far the only place I've seen them is YouTube channels that do like tech demos and stuff, and they're
Yeah, I did one
prototypes.
where you sit in this four people sit in this thing and it literally just spins you around. That's all it does. But when you're wearing the thing, it's a whole different world that you're in and whatnot. And this was in the middle.
That's cool. Yeah, I've been on a few like VR devices, but none that are actually substantially good. To be honest, you
Yeah,
know.
they were kind of fun, but nothing worth that I would spend any money or do anything, you know, drastically. To be honest, all these people that buy the Oculus and whatnot, yeah, it is what it is. I got my man. My man is nothing but a straight up VR person. He don't do nothing else. That's all he does. He rocks 24/7, and he's doing good. You know, his content's all right. He's
Yeah.
you know he's doing whatever he does, but he's just straight VR. You know what I mean? He rocked
No, a
with
lot
me
of
one
people
time
VR poker.
on COD because his mini pad or iPad could play. It was weird. I was like, "Oh, you could play with me?" He's like, "Yeah, wow." And then that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he was playing in his living room, watching zombies come through different whatnot while I'm on the game. It was weird, and I was like, "Bro."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah. My whole house became the map in a way."
Yeah.
It was-
Oh, so no, that's okay because there's two types of VR.
His whole
Yeah,
house
it's
became
cool
the map.
saying, I
So
want.
he got to run around and zombies were coming everywhere and he was locking him with his windows up and shit. It was kind of crazy.
Well, one of the old Microsoft VR headsets, they done so. There's two forms. There's obviously it's just like a lens, and you don't really move too much. And then there's one that puts stuff like so. It's got a camera on the front, so it sees what's in front of you. You see all of that as well, but then it puts stuff inside your actual house. So I'll be sat here in front of my, laptop. I'd be playing Mario, just hitting blocks in the air that are just like floating fucking holograms. It's so interesting. I'm like,
he
how
was
did
running
they?
around his house, like literally running around his house.
It's
If
weird.
if he looked at a wall, it would be a window, and he would have to close it, or he'd run to the next area, but he could still see his house, so he didn't run in the walls.
Yeah, that's it. It's like so. That's the more advanced form of VR.
Yeah,
that I
he was
think is
moving around. He
insane.
wasn't sitting still running around. He was running. I was the only one.
Yeah, Gore's saying he wants that fucking like that Ready Player One level VR, which I think is what I think everyone's probably a little bit afraid of. Have you ever seen that movie?
I'm
The
not
level
really
of
afraid
immersion
of
is
that situation, because
a bit much.
to be honest, in a video game, the only thing that could happen is that the device will have to make you not be able to fucking take it off. So if you can take it off, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know what
So
I mean?
I think well, here's the thing. So you got Ready Player One, great example of potentially where it can go in the future.
Ready Player
But then
2,
there's
right? It's coming.
There is.
Yeah,
There
it's
is.
coming. It's
But I don't know
coming.
if you've seen the movie with Bruce Willis that is pretty much the same thing, but in a bit more of a dystopian world. And what people basically do is they plug themselves into their VR set and they live out their lives inside a not like a clone, but kind of like a clone. You know what I mean? Nearly. And this is because everyone was too afraid of getting hurt. And it was to keep people safe. The safest thing to do was, you can continue living your life, doing whatever you want in whatever build you want.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's so weird, man. But it almost was basically just like living in VR chat for everyone. But then obviously Bruce Willis, he didn't like it, so he was trying to separate himself from it. He was trying to get his wife to separate herself from it. And you keep seeing this model of her, which is a perfect version of herself. And then when she finally comes out of her little thing, she's all withered. She's fucking old. She looks like shit and all this. And it's just like, this is what we'll let happen if we let it happen. It would be like the fucking fat guys on Wall-E floating around on the chairs.
You don't get to see yourself mature physically in real life. You're
No.
stuck in that one vision that you're just
Yeah.
25 or 30, whatever the fuck your age is, or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck your physique that you want to keep. That's why you
That's a
can't.
cool- I
believe
can't
in
remember what it's
illusions, man.
called.
That's why I
Yeah.
believe in this whole parasocial, where you watch VTubers. You gotta get your mental right. You know what I'm saying? Your fantasy is too
90% of female VTubers are guys. 95% of them.
interesting.
Yeah,
Really?
to be honest. Yeah.
Nah.
It's well known fact.
Ow.
Very
Really?
well known fact. Yeah, well known fact. Yeah, because it all came out recently.
Yo,
Because the
why
whole
are we all
VTuber
being
thing got
creepy,
blown
man?
apart.
What's going on? And that's a little creepy.
Well, the whole VTuber. So because guys know what guys like, so they obviously put the fucking urus on and all this sort of shit, and they farm interaction in a weird way. But this got blown out massively recently because all of these VTube models come from a certain company, and they kind of own your channel because they own your model. And a lot of them are kicking off about it because there was this big fuss. I can't remember exactly what happened, but they were kicking off about it. But then it actually came out, obviously, who a lot of these people are. And I said 90% were male. And there's all these big titty fucking demon girls, you know what I mean, that are cultivating absolute simps. Yeah. Big titty fucking demon girls with a voice filter, and it's so funny, man.
It's
It's
a
like,
voice
what the
filter AI. It's
fuck, man.
creepy
Yeah.
as fuck. Voice acting.
Man, I'll give him, but whatever. I just I'm
Hey,
like,
I might just
how didn't they
disappear and
know
create
already?
me an AI account and just run a stream like that and become rich, I guess.
some don't even care. Some don't even care, so they don't even put a voice filter on. They're just a straight up dude voice in a fucking female avatar.
Dude, voicing it up. Hey guys, what are
Yeah.
we doing, dog? I'm sitting there with
Yeah, yeah.
fucking
Yo.
tight-ass
Yo,
thing.
what's up, boys? It's fucking hilarious.
Let's go,
I love
Boob
it.
Gang.
I absolutely love it. Yeah. Where's my itty bitty titty committee? Let's go. Let's go. Over boulder shoulder holder crew. Come on, where you at? Fucking
Wow.
so funny. Mm. Give me a AI, VR, fucking avatar. I'll be ruling the world. I'll be Pinky or the brain. That honestly, that actually, anyone who's got access to that new fucking VR fucking video editing software, make a Pinky and the Brain vlog channel, please. Thank you. I claim this now on the 22nd of the 6th, 2025 at 12 p.m. UK time. IP protected.
How long until we got?
But yeah, somebody do it.
Humans fucking robots, man.
Already, they've been doing that forever. It's the biggest trade. Have you seen? They're like, we've got these AI companions that you can have.
Meaning like walking down the street, it's gonna be normalized, like people walking with robots. Relationship. What do you think about that?
Have you seen the motherfuckers pushing around static sex dolls, taking them out for meals? Of course this is gonna happen. It's already happening. It's cringe. People are weird. We only get weirder over time. I can't fucking believe it. But yeah, I've seen. Oh god, you
rather go out and be intimate with a robot or run.
No, I don't.
And go speak with a
no
human
fucking
being?
God, no.
That's insane. What is wrong with us humans?
I certainly don't. But I've seen a documentary about some guy who collects fucking sex dolls, and he has a wife, weirdly, who lets him collect these sex dolls and keep them in his house like some sort of fucking crazed dungeon or something in these boxes, and then he takes them out in a wheelchair, takes them to the fucking cafe and to the pub, takes them for dinner, and everyone just acts like it's normal. Why isn't he taking his wife out? He got some fucking doll in a chair he's pushing around. He's got fucking cum inside it, probably. It's disgusting. Wash it out. Gross. I gotta wash these motherfuckers out. These gross motherfuckers doing that. Then go, oh, I better make sure it's clean. So I don't get people at all sometimes. I don't get it. I do not get it.
So if I showed up and I had my
wife,
the Banger 3000, you're gonna disrespect her like that in front of me?
Yes, I will throw her in a trash composter.
It looks like we're gonna fight and we can't be friends. How are you gonna disrespect my wife?
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, you imagine you get yourself some fucking knockoff Chinese version of a sex doll, AI sex doll, and then that thing starts windmilling at you. It just goes haywire. It's like, no, software broke.
So
it's choking you out like. Ugh.
Imagine that guy that brings out his robot every day and he's fighting over like, you disrespect my wife? What's wrong with you?
People are married to AI, or people are having like, weirdly enough, like full serious relationships now with AI chatbots. Full on relationships. Motherfuckers be trying to marry aeroplanes and stuff. Nothing surprises me now. Like, nothing surprises me. We have a whole documentary show on the UK dedicated to the weirdness of people, and I tell you, some of these people are weird. And they're the ones that allow us to see. Yeah, our new AI sex bots now murder their owners 10% less when they become independently sentient. Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess. Okay.
So, sex bots are real now. The AI ones that they've been promoting recently, and we all know what they're used for. But they're supposed to be companion bots, and you can have them look however you like, and they've got the full fucking robotic faces and like full AI interactions, so they can talk back to you when you talk to them.
You know what creeps me out? The realistic babies. They're like rubbery. They feel like they
I've seen them.
Like
yeah,
really
they
creepy. Like
creepy.
really lifelike babies, and you get them sent to you. I'm like, that's creepy.
My sister always had a doll, bless, when she, like ever since she was young. Her doll's name was Isabel. And it was the most realistic looking sort of like baby doll that you can get, full on fucking wrinkled up and everything. That thing gave me the creeps. Still gives me the creeps to this day.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Why would you have something like that?
Doll, like, shit.
Yeah, it's creepy.
I don't know. People pay crazy money for it, but it's realistic, whatever you're supposed to take care of it really, because the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
point of it is for you to give you the feel of how to
Practice as well,
do
yeah.
a real infant or whatnot.
Yes. Yeah,
But
yeah. That's
that's just
exactly it, yeah.
creepy when it's not a
It
real infant.
cries all the time if you don't feed it, stuff like this, and it's like it looks real, you know. But again, I've seen a lot of these AI robots just bug out, you know, because they are susceptible to just not working sometimes, and when they do, it is disturbing. Because you know, it's like it's disturbing. You know what I mean? Because it gives such uncanny valley because they kind of look a little bit real, and then they're just like acting like a machine bugging out. It's like they're possessed or something. It creeps me out. Like really creeps me out. Yeah, yeah. There's a great movie called Ex Machina, which is about
We need
yeah,
an
yeah, it'd be like doing
exorcism.
the fucking like trying to like spider crawl at you or something like this. It's like, what are they doing? His head's spinning around on the spot or something. It's like, no. Yeah, the movie Ex Machina is great. It was actually it's based it's about a guy who runs a company who believes he has created sentient AI, and he brings someone in to do the Turing test on this particular robot. And the movie is so odd and so confusing sometimes. And you have to watch it. I wouldn't ruin it, but yeah, it's very well worth a watch. Called Ex Machina.
Okay. Hey, Lester, let's go.
Yeah.
Think about the boost.
Super insane.
So since I have a Jeep, I guess I'm part of the duck bullshit. I wound up one day somebody gave me a ninja duck, right? We had ninja duck,
Hold up. I've heard about this stupid shit.
right? I don't know.
Why
I,
you
it
put
just
ducks on your
happened. So
Jeeps?
I don't do this shit.
Why
but I
people-
I don't really understand the concept of it. But anyway, I got a ninja duck. I was like,
Right.
cool.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Are people just putting them on your vehicle?
Yeah, you just show up and boom, it just sits there. And then now somebody gave me officer duck.
Oh my god. I would literally be vlogging this. Like, when's the next duck gonna turn up?
Well,
Every time I come out, there's a new duck.
I don't pay attention like that because you never know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen. So far, I'm down to 2. You know what I mean?
Man, what if fucking... It could be just... that, to me, is just like one of the strangest pranks of all time.
It's only for Jeeps, but it's
I
not
find
a
that
prank. And I think
hilarious.
it means something. I think it's like a Jeep. I don't know. I need to figure it out. But yeah. So far, I got.
I've heard... Was it... I think it's not just you who told me this. Somebody else told me this, and I thought it was so fucking strange.
I think, to be honest, origin is TikTok trend, and then it just went from there.
I wonder, yeah. There's a trend of people just putting ducks on
It
Jeeps.
was just a trend. Somebody had, all our Jeep people get together or something, however. But I think
weird.
that's might be origin. I could be wrong, but I think that's origin, and now it just spread to like a natural thing to do if you see a Jeep and you're a Jeep owner. A little creepy, a little whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's strange.
It's not that creepy. I think it's quite sweet. There was a thing that went round in the UK many, many years ago where someone's garden gnome got stolen at the front of their house.
That happens here a lot too.
Yeah, and it went like round the world on like a round the world trip, and it had pictures everywhere, absolutely everywhere.
Yep.
I was like, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's sending postcards back to the house. But I was like, that's got to be someone you know. Like, come on.
Somewhere around you guys, I think there's some guy that or a woman or somebody that they're very artistic. They made a gnome community, like it started with one house, and then as the week went by the end of like the week, it was
No
a
way.
whole community there, and I was like, that's cool.
That is cool. I do like how people do so that's for me like, oh god, sorry, I got a wedgie. It's the one me.
Now, if it's set up,
sort my boxes
great
out.
setup, good job. Now,
Even a good
if
setup.
it rolled
Yeah.
out, if you rolled it out natural and filmed it like that, great. But sometimes, again, we live in this world where artistic talent can be a point of view, so you can film that shit and make it seem like that. You know what I'm saying? Beauty of editing and writing.
Well,
things.
100%, yeah. Yeah. This is, I think, originally, the original times it happened was on the whim, like just funny behavior. And then it's soon as something, this is the most annoying thing. As soon as someone does something quite funny on TikTok, it becomes a trend. Everyone's doing the exact same thing. Why?
Listen,
Why
the
do you think like
internet
just
used to
copying
be
someone is saying
used to
like
be a space
so
to
weird?
kind of bullshit and hide. Then it turned into a space where you can actually communicate and be with people. Then it turned into a space where you can find answers or you can reach out to others. Now it's turned to a space where it's all about making money. It's kind of weird.
Mm.
I
I
mean,
still
it
just
was
don't
always you
understand the
could always
trend
make money, I
thing, you
think,
know?
but now really most people make money online. Money making online. I mean,
Pretty
people have
much,
regular
yeah.
jobs, don't get me wrong, but if you look at the internet the way it is, it's not really something to go get information or go really it feels like it's used to make money, to be a business in a way. It's what it seems like nowadays.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, because it is probably like well, it's worldwide access, isn't it?
Exactly. And when you
Yeah.
really break that down, you know what I mean, the forefront of people, our generation young, we didn't know because we're growing with this technology as it's coming. But the ones that
Mm.
clicked and found it, like fucking Mark Zuckerberg stealing the bullshit, Facebook concept. Fucking what's his name? What was the other guy? Like it was crazy. They a
Oof.
lot of shit
I mean,
formed out.
it is, yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Do you know a company named Underground? Used to be the dopest fucking website so you can get fucking PC games and shit like cheaply and play. There was a game called Stickman where you were like a stick figure. It was dope. It was just the
I
underground. It
can't
was
say I do. Yeah, I can't say I do.
you didn't rock that. I know you rock Game
I can't
Power.
say
You
no.
already told me that you got the books, you got
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
magazines, so you
yeah,
knew
yeah,
that.
yeah. But yeah, no, no PC stuff for a long time. Always console stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, I
this is
mean,
like in the
fucking cheat
2000s,
cards,
man. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean. Everybody in the 90s created these little underground things on the internet. You know what I'm
Well, I don't know if I told you this before. I was one of the small chunk of people that had a unlocked Xbox 360 back in the day. Now, I didn't realize how much trouble this could have caused me. I paid £200 for it online, and it was just like dev unlocked Xbox. I thought, oh, that's cool. Didn't think anything of it. Man, you were playing games like fucking Gears of War 3 while they're in concept mode. Like in full concept mode. And then, weirdly enough, I didn't realize that the reason we even had access to this was because there was a Discord. The guy said, oh, well, not Discord, it was a fucking Facebook group back in the day, I think it was, that we had to join, where he said, oh, yeah, you can
Have you
get some
ever
information on the
did
things
you
you can
ever
do.
get to enjoy what a LAN party is?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
you
Yeah,
know what I
we used
mean.
to have
Like,
like
so you
multiple
played
TVs
Counter
stacked up.
Strike.
Yeah.
You know what I'm. You played fucking
Oh,
Soldier
yeah.
Soldier of Fortune. Like you understand the games
We
I'm
didn't
talking
do
about. These are the
we
pioneers
didn't
of
do Counter Strike. No.
first person shooters.
So LAN party for me back in the day was Halo 2.
Oh no.
Um,
Okay, so what I'm
or
talking
Halo
about
3.
is
Sorry,
like
yeah.
actually LAN party, like playing
Yeah, yeah. So it's
PC,
still it's like
one, two, three
yeah,
PCs live, four
yeah.
PCs lined up, and we're all
But you used to
fucking
be able to do
lining
it through
up and
console. Yeah,
you know what I
you
mean?
used to be able to do
I
it through
get, I
console
get,
also. Yeah,
I know exactly what you're saying. See,
but it's not
I
the
was
same.
doing,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was
It's
LAN
different. Yeah,
partying
yeah.
up. Like that was original
I
before
didn't
console. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even play a fucking PC until well, I played my friends' PCs a few times and stuff. Well, I say a few times, quite a
This
bit,
was
but
around, I would say,
I never had my own PC.
probably 97, 98, 99.
Oh, no, no, hell no. I'd played like old Doom 1 and Doom 2 on a friend's
Yeah, that's
PC
around
a
that
lot,
era. Yeah, yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, no, they wouldn't have had that
My
sort of stuff
first
on there.
PC game ever that I actually got to own, I went and bought. It was a ROM, so you had to buy a fucking CD, the ROM, the full game. It was Lara Croft, 96.
Classic,
First game ever I ever played, and mouse and keyboard.
classic. Mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, it's a PC
Oof.
game, bro. It didn't come out for fucking console for many years.
I did not know that.
First,
Yeah,
first,
I knew it was
Tomb Raider is
it
a
was
PC game originally.
yeah. It's a first party game for Sony, so it was like one of their launch games
Right.
for PlayStation 1.
Right.
But that's the only time I ever played it was PlayStation 1, and at the time I had the option to get the Nintendo 64
Yes,
or the
yeah,
PlayStation
that
1.
makes perfect sense because
Mhm.
that's exactly because Sony again, if Sega didn't fuck up, Sega you fucked
Oh,
up, bro. Sega fucked up. I'm
and
sorry,
Nintendo did
you
a bit.
fucked up. Huh?
It would have been, so did you know this? It would have been the Nintendo PlayStation.
Oh, okay, it was Nintendo. I thought it was Sega. Whatever
Yeah,
deal
yeah.
they fucked
No,
up,
it was
somebody
Nintendo. Yeah,
fucked
yeah.
up
It was over the Final Fantasy game because
m-
they were going to do another cartridge system
because
and
PC
they
is
wanted more.
CD. That was the CD-ROM
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
was the
and
forefront
these were
because
back.
you can make copies, you can do anything on the spot,
What,
and that's where
I'm
Sony
trying to
came
think
in.
which one it
Was like,
was.
yeah, we can do
Was it Final Fantasy 9 or 7, which was the first one that it might have been 7. It was either 7 or 9, but
Final
all of them back
Fantasy
in the day
7.
on the PlayStation. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, they were all four disc box sets. So you
Final
imagine the
Fantasy
difference
7 was
between.
fucking thick.
Well, yeah, so you get 4 discs.
1, 2,
So
3, 4.
instead
Yeah,
of
yeah,
them
yeah,
having
yeah.
one cartridge, this is why the company, which is a flagship company for Nintendo back in the day, moved over to Sony, is because Nintendo weren't going to be able to provide them the storage space. They provided them a little bit more power because it was 64-bit rather than PlayStation's slightly lesser.
Listen,
But
the only thing that launched
the CD storage
PlayStation
was
up,
what
that
won
made
it.
the
Yeah,
PlayStation anything
fucking
great.
Sony. You know what I mean?
The only thing that made PlayStation great was the fact that they could produce games massively real fast. That's what the whole point of the
Fast.
CD-ROM, the CD-ROM
Burn them on the
was
disc. Burn them
the
on the
front,
disc.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
because you could burn. You don't have to have it stored and set and stop back. Now we can just print when we want, and send out. That's
Yeah, boom, 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 boom,
Sony's
boom, boom, boom.
motherfucking
So cheap.
egg. That
So
was
cheap.
that was their secret pill, and
Well, that would have
nobody
been on the.
believed
Did
it
you?
because everybody was thinking differently, and they were already kind of ahead of its time. Because they don't know how to
Have you
create
s-
consoles. The PS
No.
is actually shitty. It just had a lot of games.
The PlayStation 1 was terrible, yeah. Did you realize, though, that the Nintendo system, before or after, sorry, the 64, they did make a disc
That's why
running system?
that makes sense. That's why they came out with a fucking
Yeah,
a Sega Saturn, a Sony Sega Saturn.
Very rare.
No, they came
It
out
was
with
very
that too.
rare, but yeah.
They came out with that.
Yeah, but it
They
was
did
around
they
the
did a little
time with the
small- they
Sega
did a
Saturn,
little
yeah.
small collab. So they slapped Nintendo around. Hey, Sony, yo,
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
bullied. Sony's actually, yeah. What am I talking about? I'm a fucking idiot. Yo, Sony's hardcore. They had Crash Bandicoot go in front of the fucking Nintendo building office and
Yeah.
bullshit talk
Yeah.
them, and they used it
Yeah,
as a commercial. Like Sony was hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah. PlayStation
Do you know,
came hard.
still to this day, from inside my very first PlayStation 1 box, I open it up with the PlayStation 1 in, I still say this quote. It's written in there. Experience isn't what happens to you, it's what you make of it. On the fucking lid as I open it. And I'm like, oh. And that stuck with me for life. You know, I mean, weirdly, that phrase.
Okay,
It's just
bro,
like,
you're
from a
crazy.
fucking PlayStation
It
box,
hit
man.
phones-
Not
it
even
hit phones
joking.
differently. That's cool. I get it.
Well, yeah, because I was like, you know, it really is. It's not
I just
what
think
happens
that's
to you,
wrong.
it's what you
Like
think of it. You know? Yeah.
that's early 2000s, late 90s
They
type
were
shit.
OG, man.
They had
They used to do the
Crash
stupidest
Bandicoot
ads.
talk shit to Nintendo, and now it makes sense. I didn't really quite catch it at the time. That's dope. Okay.
Because
That was pretty raw.
Sony, interestingly, made CD players back then, like music players.
Of course.
So
yeah,
they
yeah,
were
yeah, yeah.
on
We
on
had the
ball with it.
anti-skip. We
Yeah,
had
yeah.
everything. They
Yeah,
were
yeah.
killing it.
I was still 20-second anti-skip. Turn it on. Your batteries are dead. Great. Fucking anti-skip. I still find CDs to this day was such a fucking stupid bit of technology. Like they were far
Listen,
less superior
you
than
ever
the
had
older
micro
tech in some
joints? I had the
fashions.
micro joints. This was like
Yeah,
a mini
micro disc.
little
micro
micro
disc.
disc, and boom boom. I had a bunch of them.
In
Like,
little plastic boxes.
Yeah,
in little
I had
plastic
'em.
cases. Yeah.
I had that.
I had a fucking microdisc player inside my car for years. I thought I was like cutting edge. That shit lasted about 1 year before MP4 and MP3 came
That's
out,
what I'm
and
saying.
like
Like,
it
yeah,
became
before the MP3,
irrelevant.
the MP4
Yeah,
then
it became
came, and then all of a
redundant,
sudden the Nano came, and then I was like, we don't need any of
yeah.
this shit.
I had it in my car for like 3 years, and people like it became a relic after 2 years. People were like, holy shit, you got a mini disc player? It's like, yeah, check out all these mini discs, you know. Fucking, but that was just to stop them getting scratched. And because you could put it on smaller devices, so they're like, oh, smaller better. Put them in a little case, they won't get scratched.
Right. They don't get scratched,
and
or
then
they save.
instantly we move over
But
to like fucking digitally saved stuff.
yeah, digital
You know,
save
rather than
and have
burning.
hundreds
Yeah.
of whatever, and I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
there we go.
Unlimited
The
storage
Nano,
nearly, you
the
know.
Nano
It's
was all right.
crazy, yeah.
It took me a while to get one of those, and then after once
They
they
were cool.
put music on like the phone, once they made the phone fully functional, I mean, this is just a mini PC,
Oh,
y'all. You know what I mean? You
it's
understand that.
our
If
cyber
you
it's
got
our
if you all
cyborg
got yourself
appendage.
whatever
Yeah.
company it is, but a proper phone, you pretty much got yourself a PC if you really use it right.
100% it is our first cyborg appendage.
Right.
In reality, it's like it's been said for many years, like we are feeding AI, we're feeding like so much information into these things day in, day out, and we're
Right.
taking information back out of it. It is as close as we can get to having a fucking chip installed in us. Because 90% of people in the modernized world
But see, that's
carry
what it
them in
is.
their
You're just
pocket
feeding it a bunch of
24/7,
data. It doesn't
just
have
feeding it info.
what we
Yeah.
have. We have emotion,
No.
or I don't know what the
Mm-hmm.
say, but we know the
No,
difference
we have
between
humanity.
reality,
We
fake,
have humanity, yeah.
fake, fantasize, proper. Like,
For
you know what
now.
I'm saying? We understand critical thinking, I guess. AI will learn everything and
It'll learn
equation
from
out
us. Though.
equation. Now there's a
Yeah.
difference. That could work good or that could work bad. You see what I'm saying? So if we solely
Oh,
rely
100%.
on that,
Yeah.
I think we're fucked. But because we don't, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're humans.
Wait.
We're gonna have a whole different interacting than what the AI is gonna interact. If you're a threat, you're a threat. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. No, I know what you mean. Because they've done that test with they've tried to use, well, obviously use AI in the military a very large amount, but they've done
course,
a test
But
where
they have
they
a
were
certain,
going
there's
to.
different AIs of what we're talking
They do it
about.
on. Yeah.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to talk about the AI that everybody thinks about all the time naturally because it's more common sense. But yeah, AI is used for everything. We use AI for. There's a different AI for. There's AI in your fucking GPU right now. If you spend $500, get that 50 or whatever, 50/70.
There's an AI in my camera on my phone,
Yeah, there's AI right here.
and it yeah, and it, well, yeah, you know, literally
there's AI
we're
staring
on.
at me. Fucking
Yeah,
there's AI
yeah.
right there. Look at you.
Look at you motherfucker. You're all fake. Everyone's a figment of my imagination. Or I'm just a figment of yours. We'll never figure this out.
Hey, let's go take it for the source.
I like that top, by the way. It's a nice top.
Oh yeah, my Columbia jacket. This is nice. Waterproof.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. God, it's fucking still so hot here today, dude.
Yeah,
I'm getting melting.
my style of dressing in a way has evolved. I dress like I live out in the mountains. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's how I dress. I like to be prepared for the weather. You know what I'm saying? Because you know I live in desert now. I used to live in the mountains. Now I live in like deserts, but I live high desert, so I'm kind of outdoorsy. Even though you never really see me outdoorsy, but yeah.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm survival.
I used to be a very outdoorsy sort of person.
Yeah.
I even pulled out the motocross bike day before
Yeah,
yesterday.
I'm not that
outside
outdoorsy.
chatting
I'm
about
just
it.
prepared for outdoors. Like, you know.
The only weather we get in the UK is mild, as always. But then sometimes a little bit hotter or a little bit colder.
The earth shakes where I'm at.
Still pretty mild.
And I had to get used to that. It's been shaking for me for the past 4 years of my life. You know, before that, I've always just seen it on movies or heard about it. Never really had to know. But yeah. I know how it shakes now. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, fuck that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get used to it. I'm like, man, this is it's just a spot where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay.
If that ground turns to jelly, then oh my god.
Listen, when I lived
God,
in
no,
Florida,
thank you.
there's sinkholes. You know what a sinkhole is?
Yeah, I've seen them.
Listen.
How the fuck do they exist?
Listen.
What is that?
I wake up, get a coffee, beautiful sunshine. I turn the news on. I hear this whole house sinkholes and this whole family gone 40 feet deep.
Yep. Gone.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Next morning, I hear sinkhole 40 fucking and a beautiful fucking ancient car lot. 40 fucking Corvettes ain't rare. Fall through
Gone.
through a single gone. They actually went down to grab one because it was really that rare. They're like, yo, we got to grab this bitch.
I mean, that's either really terrible building, or
No, because Florida's a peninsula, so it goes out to the ocean. So technically, again, if you dig deep enough, you're gonna hit water. You know what I'm saying? So
the water.
technically,
Yeah. It's always
technically, again,
shuffling
with the
then.
sinkholes and whatnot,
Cycle
like I said,
moving,
it's
yeah,
where
yeah.
the Everglades is. It's a different. It's a tropical. It's a tropical, very tropical humidity climate. You know what I mean? You're fucking sweating like a motherfucker. It's crazy down there.
I find like some of those natural things that occur, like sinkholes
Probably the
especially, I find them
most
super
exotic
interesting.
spot of America will probably Florida, and people will laugh at that, but I'm not talking about humans and talking about buildings. I'm talking about like animals.
Swamp, yeah. That's fucking Louisiana bayous and all that.
Nah, yeah, that's Louisiana.
Florida, innit?
That's more swampy.
That's
area.
like Florida
Florida
nearly, innit?
has more, at least a little bit. You got the Black Panthers. You got fucking like you got fish. You know that are crazy.
You got
like,
panthers.
Yeah, there's Black Panthers down in Florida. That's why it's the Black Panthers.
Panthera.
Yeah,
Fucking
the
hell,
Black
God.
Panther.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Ugh.
deadly, bro. I've seen a Black Panther in real life. They're crazy.
We have
Them
very
cats
few
can
in
jump.
the UK.
Them cats
Very
can
few.
move. Them cats are killers. Movies don't
They-
believe movies. That thing will get you.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like I've
It
seen
looks
like
cool, man. It's jet black. Fucking has yellow eyes. It's fucking. It's a crazy cat. Fucking feels muscled too. It feels like it's muscle. It's crazy.
There's I don't know whether they're where they're from. They're like from Eastern Europe, but there's a couple online that keep a Black Panther as a pet.
Oh wow. Okay.
And it's like it's tame, but not so. It's just still a panther.
Watch
The
this
thing's
dude
about
from
bloody.
what the fuck's
It's
he got?
big,
Dude, this dude, shit. What the fuck is it? It's not a bobcat. It's not a fisher cat. But I don't know. This dude, he's I think
Lynx.
from Finland or
Lynxes?
or
They
something
got
like
like
that.
pointy
But
ears.
his I've seen this cat pretty much like raised, and it's fucking huge. What the fuck? Maui's the name of the cat. Fucking, it has its own like fucking YouTube channel and everything. He's crazy. He's from Finland, I
Yep.
think, or something like that. But the cat he raised. Fuck, what the fuck is this?
I've known someone who's had like
huge.
lynxes before. They were big.
Lynx are cool. I've
They're
seen
not-
lynx. Those
yeah.
but that's the size of
They're
a-
not
of
allo-
a-
they're
of a-
very
of a small
aggressive.
dog, mini dog.
Yeah, they're very aggressive.
I'm
They're
talking
not
about
very
a big,
like they're
big cat.
not allowed now.
The fuck is it? I can't
think-
think about it because I'm high now. But big fucking cat.
There's only a few. Like there's like leopard, jaguar,
No, not those. Those are too
panther. Oh, did you hear about this as well? I don't know if this will mean anything to you. But the thylaco, which is supposedly an extinct animal from Australia, still not 100% extinct. There's been a few spotted, but they're reintroducing them back into the Australian wilderness for
like I said,
because
all
obviously
these
they have a good
extinct
place in
animals
there.
that are coming back since they decided
It's
to do
so
that,
weird,
the
yeah.
genetic fuck around and start, pretty much playing God with fucking
Thylaco,
genetics.
mammoth, and
know what I mean?
there's one other as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
the
know,
dire wolf, but yeah.
the dire wolf, the whatnot. So I mean, we're gonna get these animals coming back
'cause they
but they're
need
not gonna
predators,
be-
yeah.
I don't think
They're
I don't
not the
think
same.
I don't think we could play God that crazy. I mean, I believe these scientists don't get me because they're smarter than me, but I
Well, we
can't take
cloned a sheep in the
100%
90s.
it's still trial and error. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, at the
I
end.
mean, we cloned a sheep in the 90s, and it lived, full life and had children.
I know.
A clone,
So,
man.
yeah. We all remember her.
But
I
that's
remember- we all
that's
remember
obviously
the mouse
illegal
that
now.
we fucking put a goddamn ear. So it
Yeah,
grew
ear
a
on, yeah. Do you know that we can grow organs quite easily now?
Yeah.
And we do to an
Yeah,
extent.
we clone
yeah.
people, bro. That's why doppelgangers
Yeah.
are real.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I think a lot of very, very powerful people probably have that already. Or very
Listen,
powerful nations that
There's
don't have
facilities
regulations.
where you
you
can
know?
come in and genetically create your own child. You can come in.
Oh,
and
yeah, I know,
make a
yeah.
menu and
Change-
create
yeah,
a
yeah.
baby.
Oh,
and
what
do
color
what you need
eyes
to
do you
do.
want? What color hair do you
Whatever
want?
you want. Eyes,
stuff like
this, that. Let's
yeah.
take this out.
Yeah.
Something very interesting that's kind of crazy. Chris Hemsworth, You might know him as Thor.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Um,
I know the guy. Yeah.
he's a young guy, young man. You know what I'm saying? But personally, I
Is
believe
he?
he's a young man. You know, he wound up doing some research apparently, and he predicted that he could get Alzheimer's. So now he has a team trying to reverse that. How the fuck did you predict that? Like, we didn't even talk about that, but we just talked about the fact that he's like, oh, he could get
Oh,
Alzheimer's, and but you just glazed over that he predicted because
how
he's
did
a
he
young guy.
know?
How did that happen? Like,
Do you
we
reckon?
should talk about that
Oh,
because
this is okay.
that's
So this
interesting, right?
movie,
That's
yeah,
interesting,
yeah.
right?
But there's a movie that talk about like when you clone stuff, you need stuff to go quick. It actually, has to grow very quickly because if you need certain organs and stuff like this, the clone has to grow very, very fast. What if the clone
So
was
everybody's
done early? It
predicting what this shit
outages
could
him.
happen, and they clone a certain age
Oh
because
no,
they
no.
want to keep
So
you at a certain age.
no. So for example, I think the reason he knew this was going to occur, maybe, and this is just obviously wild theory, maybe a clone was made of him, say 10 years ago, when he was
Right,
super,
and
super
something
like
happens. So
popping
now
off.
he has to keep.
Well, no,
It's gotta keep going.
this clone's got older than him, and has developed Alzheimer's. So he's like, oh shit, this is coming. Because it's aging like 10 times faster or whatever, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, okay, obviously your clone's done. We're gonna have to get another one
So
running. But this one
since we
died of
know we've been
Alzheimer's,
cloning
so
in the early '90s, we got to grant the fact that they've actually got good control over it, that they can actually produce from whatever
from
age they
from
want
seed
you
to
to be.
quick. Well, no, just from seed to it would have to be accelerated growth. It would have to be
Because like
like
you would have to
insanely
skip your
accelerated
infant
growth.
years, you'd have to skip your teenage
All of
years.
this, and you can't just make a fucking a body like that. That's not how cloning works.
Right,
Cloning works is
exactly.
like it's a
The
wee
things
embryo.
that it has to.
It's a wee embryo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'd have to grant that they found a way to
Maybe, yeah, I
master
know. Yeah, I know.
control.
It's likely.
You know what I'm saying?
Goes
Like,
to saying, or maybe his parents got it, so it's in his genes. This
well,
is
they
the
were- they
likely
were
thing.
try-
But
that's pretty much what they threw out
what
there.
if he
but
was
it's just crazy
cloned?
how you're gonna predict whatnot? You got a team working on whatnot.
ringing
Of
me.
course, there's
Hold up.
something being angled here. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't put my finger on it.
I was like, old man just rang me. He's like, "Do you want any eggs and bacon?" I mean, I could go for a little bit of bacon and egg, but now I'm alright.
Huh?
The old man just randomly rung me. He was like, "Do you want some eggs and bacon?" He's obviously cooking.
Shit.
Sorry, that caught me well off guard. Yeah, I was like my phone rang.
Eggs and bacon.
I mean, wakey, eggs and bakey. No, I do 100%. Like the whole cloning thing, man, has been going on for so long, in lots of different places. I'm sure, because there's
Yeah, everybody wants to be RoboCop.
they had to stop this. They had to legitimately try and stop that science in the early 2000s. But there's some places that really don't give a fuck what people say, or what like certain other country governments are gonna, moan about. They're gonna do their own thing. Yeah, that shit's been going on for a long time. Whether it's actually at any sort of like feasible place, we'll never really know for probably another 20 years, but because it's obviously banned. Anything that's like, what was it? Someone tried to put a patent up. I'm gonna have to try and remember how this works. So someone tried to put a patent up a while ago to see whether it would work, and not because they wanted to do it, because they wanted to see like where our law positioning was for forms of cloning, and it was for the exact things like organ replacement and stuff like this. And they said if it was because obviously our DNA is very close to a lot of other things, very close by a few little things.
Well,
so
every second
they said if it was
death
at
is
least
happening
1%.
as life is being born. So to be honest, hospitals are crazy. Like, so when something needs something, because you're on a list, you get put on a list and beeper given something. So if something happens, you you can go instantly. So if somebody has an accident, boom, it connects your what you need to connect. You're good. You can go. You know what I'm saying? So in a way, sometimes people are sitting there waiting for people to, hoping that something goes wrong for somebody so it could go better for them. It's kind of crazy, but yeah.
Pretty much. Pretty much. That's the organ donor list right now.
Yeah, that's the organ donor list. That's nuts. And blood transfusion, I think, too, is part of that, maybe. Because some people have
Yep.
rare blood type.
Yeah. My sister actually has quite a rare blood type, bless her. Quite a rare blood type.
That's rough.
Yeah. And it's like when my cousin Charlotte, bless her, she passed away of bone marrow cancer. Not compatible. Loads of people weren't compatible in the family. She also had quite a rare blood type, which is weird. That's why I always used to joke with my little sister. I was like, "We found you in a garbage bin."
Rough.
We were
Don't
terrible
shit
to each
bed,
other.
I can't fucking control it.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Did you just shit the bed?
Think so, yeah, I can't control it.
Mean. That does occur.
Okay.
God.
It's weird. It's like my screen sensitivity went.
Mine's all over the place. My OBS has just been constantly dying recently. I don't really understand what's going on with it, but we roll with it. I did actually reinstall Streamlabs.
Did you?
To see if that, to see if that would be any better. I've got to resize everything, sadly. But you can just basically save your settings on OBS and then import them on Streamlabs, and bada bing, bada boom, everything's there.
Streamlabs is for dummies, I guess. It makes everything idiot proof. Pretty good.
Pretty much. I started on Streamlabs, and I didn't use OBS for ages. Yeah.
No, I started on OBS.
For exactly that.
I didn't. I started on OBS and never went to really anything else.
You can even use
I've been on
platforms like
OBS
Stream
for so
Elements.
long that everything else seems like I'm a moron on it.
I mean, I think for myself now, because the longer I've been on one of these open broadcast softwares, that you get just used to it. You got all your things kind of where they are. Moving to another one ain't too bad, but it just requires like a day of setup, really. And have to actually do it just for testing's sake. Because OBS has just been a bit of a ball ache recently. I ain't too worried about it though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Did you so obviously you looked into a little bit of Ark yesterday. Saw a couple of buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
bits and bobs.
I would say for just the video I saw for those the first house, probably the best one of them all.
It actually ended up being the best one of them all by far. I do like the little waterfall feature in that like smaller sort of like green one, because that is incredibly difficult to sink it down just under the water, have the waterfall, running through. It's cool.
Artistic talent and whatnot, but yeah. I mean, that fucking building, that's a lot of fucking holy shit.
Well, one of the I couldn't believe it, because obviously I haven't played Ark for ages, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna reinstall it. I want to see what it's like. It does not play well on my system. That's a fucking fact. But but it has this new feature that is, so if I made a build, or somebody else made a build, you can then upload it to your friend, and they have like a template system now that just, you put the template down, and then you just collect the things you need, done.
Really?
Yeah. It's an incredibly cool feature for if you to ever have like a creator code system. But I mean, it's gonna kill kind of the the love of finding someone's randomly really cool build on a server that's unlike anything else, you know. Because you move around servers a lot. Or you don't, you know. But yeah, the whole system for the templating thing, I thought it was a cool idea, but playing back on Ark, man, that game does not play well on Xbox. It does not.
Told you, get off that game.
I only hop back on just to check out the new map, see what changes they made, things like that. Also, I had a hankering for building. I was like, creative mode, single player, chuck some in, you know, chuck some walls up, make some it. There's not a huge amount of those type of games that are really that good, to be honest. I've not seen you playing a huge amount of Dune lately.
Huh?
You've been, I've not seen you playing a huge amount of Dune unless you've been playing it offline. Been enjoying it?
Yeah, I do a lot of offline grind. It's a grinding game, you know what I mean?
You down at the you're at pretty much the end game.
Oh yeah, well now that we got their type the thing, we can fly to different the map, you know, the desert, deep desert.
Deep
you know
desert, yeah. Yeah.
It gets bigger.
It's just like PvP in the deep desert though.
Pretty much.
Really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Zerg fest. Everyone
Insane.
running at each other and attacking. Yeah.
Insane, trying to grab shit. Everybody's spiced out. It's like a bunch of addicts.
Yeah, it's like PCP runners. You know, I mean, everyone's just on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Off their head. Just.
Listen, I'm gonna build me a little thing right there, and I'm just gonna, you know, give water to everybody and be like, listen, you all fight. Just give me some spice. I give you water, so y'all can continue fighting.
I mean, be warned that every time a large storm comes through, it will wipe your base.
Yeah. No, it hasn't wiped them.
So, but that'd be a cool, like, do a little shop in the deep desert. You know what I mean? See if you can like farm spice off people
out there to try to give like a mutual whatnot, because that's what it is. I mean, if you break it down,
it is. Yeah,
just watching.
It is.
If you look from a distance, you're seeing everybody just pretty
spice farming,
spice farm, and battling
fighting
the spice farm.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the PvP in it, and it's all like government stuff as well. So it's like multiple factions.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
That's it.
It'd be really nice to see if they actually delve into it a little bit more with some of the stuff that they can do, you know? Because there is a lot more they can do. A lot more.
Like what?
But then, well, because, you know, they're talking about like the Fremen and all that.
Before you start
coming
changing the story and what's going on, like that's Dune, you know what I mean?
I don't think they're gonna. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna change anything like that. I think they're gonna bring in the Fremen faction. They're like the proper, like the Worm Riding faction will be another faction in the long run. I think they're opening up the map a bit more. They're talking about dungeons.
It's not changing the game. It's still the game.
No, but they're going to add like a little bit more PvE, sorry, at the end game. Things like dungeons and stuff you can do that are a little bit more expansive. Apparently.
They nerf some resources, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you know what I mean? It's just build, collect. That's it, really.
Busy work.
Right.
Basically.
There's a lot of people that like that type of game, you know what I mean? And it keeps them going. Their thing.
It's alright if it's like a massive community sort of doing it together, but generally that's kind of dull. A lot of the time. I find all survival games are a lot of that though. There is so much busy work. You could spend an entire day just organizing shit. It's like trying to go for your Destiny vault.
Really?
Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying. I've got a couple of extra games that I haven't actually tried this week yet, but I'm going to delve into them pretty soon. I didn't play the new Elden Ring or anything like that. There were a load of new little bits and bobs. I was just like, man, there's not really been a game that's taken my attention right now.
Nah, there's really nothing that's kind of really that intriguing or whatnot. You know, it's getting to that, you know.
No, I get that.
Don't fall back on your favorite game. say you have or
Yeah.
have now, or you stay on the trend, like you stay playing COD or you stay playing whatever hard is at the, you know.
I mean, Gore's saying there is so much lore to work with from the books, which is not wrong, but a lot of it's like very political lore. I'm sure they'll bring in a lot more factions.
That's
You know what I mean?
trying to say.
But
You know, they're trying
yeah.
to make the game fun, not fucking boring. You know what I'm saying? The
Exactly. Yeah.
book is, you know, dull, drawn out. I mean, it's kind of a boring.
It is.
Boring.
It's very boring after
You
the
know what I mean?
first
But
2 books. Really, it's just well, not even. It just gets drawn out in the books anyway.
I mean, it happens like
Just-
that. A lot of things get drawn out and da 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 da. Stories like
I
that.
say a lot of it's like, it's like, that's why the Dune games, most of them ended up about like, oh, like political balance in different area. You have to disagree. Why would you say so, Gore?
Well, of course, because he's intrigued with it. Some people might have.
You love the books, yeah. I mean, I know there's a lot of like, what would you call them, like short stories that go alongside the books. A massive amount of them. Whether you call them like pamphlets, nearly, or like short stories, very short stories.
Some thumbtacks.
Nah, you get tombstoned. Be fine.
It would be way better than Dune. This is probably the best iteration of Dune they've had. You know what I mean? That's why it's covered.
In gaming, by far, yeah, by far.
mean,
I thought the
and Dune's
books
OG,
are.
you go back to a fucking, I think 2000, 2006, maybe early 90s, like Dune.
Early 90s was the first sort of like
Yeah, it was
movie
like
iteration I'd seen.
on 2D like DOS.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think like TU2 was boring as fuck.
Yeah.
So it wasn't Fallout.
Yeah. So he not only becomes a worm god, he becomes like a worm god for a very, very long period of time.
Yeah,
And
he's
it is
been doing
such
that
a
once he
fucking
transformed.
strange. Yeah, it's the spice got him, man. The spice got him. But
Listen, I forgot what they
fucking,
call them, but
it's
they've done so
so
much that they
weird.
transformed into this crazy ass monster thing that they
He
got
does, yeah,
destroyed.
yeah. And yeah, that is literally fucking, yeah, Paul Atreides that does it. Yeah, he becomes the worm god. And so this is the person we're following in the movies currently, the newest of movies.
Right.
And like, yeah, he becomes like eventually a cross between a worm and a man. And this is like goes on for so long because he's like got so much fucking life. It's weird. It gets so weird, dude. And it's not even that like. Again, it goes into just mad political sort of like positions of people, and then internal monologue, like how people feel about stuff. This is very difficult to like depict, you know.
Right.
Well, exactly, yeah,
I mean,
but then here's the thing. The game completely fucking breaks that, and if you want to be Benny Gesserit, then you can still fucking be men. Which is okay if you're trying to follow that, like... but they're not. You know, they're not. This is, like...
chick.
It's... Yeah, I'd hope so. I would be. I mean, if you're going to look at the ass all day, it better be a thick one.
Kyra runs around the desert fucking like a savage. She don't
I
know
think
what
that's
she's
interestingly though, because that did annoy me that even like if you were gonna play like Benny Gesserit, then in reality like you should have just been locked a female character,
doing. Right.
you know, and then
But again, in the game,
but then
this is a parallel cross. Like it's not.
it's just in the universe. It's
Right.
not. It's not a canon.
Yeah, it's not whatnot.
Yeah, it's not canon. No, but it is within the universe. It's like, I don't know. They've done a lot of really good stuff with it, but then obviously character creation
what's
nowadays,
his
you've
name?
got to
what's his
fucking...
name? He puts his hand in. He's gonna wind up being the one at the end.
Yeah, of course, yeah. That's fucking Paul Atreides, isn't it? He's like the son of the guy who came to take over from the Harkonnen, I believe. And
Right.
that's
Yeah,
where the
everybody's all about
yeah,
Harkonnen right
and
now.
he gets like fucked up, doesn't he? And then he's poisoned, but this guy gives him something that he can like, or he's dying, and somebody gives him something. He says, you know, when he's close enough, breathe on him, and that's what the transformation that first occurs. It's like it was a double failed assassination, and then you're left with obviously the son, who is the only male Bene Gesserit. And this is because his mother wasn't supposed to teach him, but she knew he had she knew he could wield the voice from a young age, and she was part of the Bene Gesserit as well. And it's like, it's very weird, it's very strange, interesting story. But then, well, that's like barely first book. It's like half of the first book. Like,
Huh.
it gets so crazy. The movies, like the newest movies, are barely into the second book. I think they're just dipping their toe into the second book, or maybe like at the end point, maybe about halfway through the second book. But I don't know how many books there actually was, because I've only read so many. I've read the two, and then I've read lots of pamphlets, and I've heard about a lot of the others. I've looked into them, but all I've heard that they were just terrible reads. It's like, ugh. First two were hard enough to read in the first place.
What's the fucking point, right?
Exactly. Why'd they make it into a movie that sucked the first time? Why'd they make it into a game and not follow the law? What's the fucking point of the Dune books? It's just like going in circles, I swear. I don't think, like, of all of the like sort of mega series books from back in the day that I even dipped my toe into, Lord of the Rings was even a difficult read, to be honest. Just a long fucking read.
Yeah, these things were
Very long.
too long. A lot of detail, a lot of intricate things. That was the whole point. It was supposed to engulf you into like a fantasy world and be drawn.
Well, so for example, I didn't grow up in the era where the Harry Potter books were something I was going to read, but one of my exes was well into Harry Potter, loved it, and we started watching the movies, and she was like, "Oh, I grew up reading these books." She was like, "You would love to read them," so I tried. I tried. I think
Well,
the only one that was
you knew how to
actually
read.
interesting was Goblet of Fire. Yeah, it was like Goblet of Fire was all right.
Okay.
But I was just like, ugh.
I read a lot of good books.
Interestingly though,
that
yeah.
got me through like
what?
some good books, man. I like Stephen King. I like Dean Cooks. I like
Yeah.
uh
I've got a few Stephen King books in. I think
who else? Yeah, Dean
a
Cooks.
lot of horror books.
John Saul was crazy, man. I love John Saul, man. But they were, again, I would say more in like the horror section or system.
Yeah. A lot of mine like
More-
horror, psychological horror.
like more realistic.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't fantasy,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Harry
Yeah.
Potter or
Real
anything
horror, like
that.
almost
So,
like crime horror, nearly.
right. So like, and
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
I
Like
got a lot of
the
that
author,
here. Yeah.
again, he was a doctor from Burlington, Vermont, and then to write these books and be like fucking good novels. I was like, holy shit. The homing was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because he used his
Okay,
doctor
I've not heard
knowledge
that.
in the book, which was crazy. You see what I'm saying? Because he was a doctor in real life.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking, oh, he's just
But
a writer, but he was a doctor. So and I found out more about the person and then reading the book, it was incredible. The homing was nuts, bro.
That's interesting. Gorgeous states, you can always tell when a Stephen King publishes one of his wife's book with a quick rewrite under his name.
Well, Stephen King was smart, man.
Mm-hmm.
I like how he came
He
out
was. He done some
as
cool
a
horror,
different
and he done
name,
some
and he still
hilarious
had the
horror.
same fame, so he knew he could write.
You know Terry Pratchett? You know the writer Terry Pratchett, who wrote. No, he writes a lot of like very very peculiar stuff. Like the world's on a disc being fucking shuffled around by turtles in space. Interesting, weird books. But he used to drink down in one of the pubs before he died, quite close to me. End up with quite severe dementia and all that. But they have a lot of like his signed originals and stuff in there. He was a great, really, really great writer. Very peculiar stuff. Very peculiar stuff. It's kind of a very fantasy style.
Wow.
I've got a lot of those sort of books. We had like a horror books series back in the day as well, Goosebumps. Oh my God, there's
Goosebumps,
become a
Goosebumps,
TV
excellent.
series. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And the
It's become a
new
TV
for the
series in the UK.
soul, the
Yeah,
whole series, excellent.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that actually like gave me the creeps back when I was young. There was that, and oh, what was it? There was
Shel
a TV
Silverstein,
show.
excellent.
Oh, I've not heard of them. You're gonna have to send me a few links for these. I'm gonna have to read some books at some point again. Give me
He's
some time. I'll put it on a
it's like a
little
poet
fucking
author.
Kindle. Oh, okay, okay.
He wrote something like the most famous is probably The Given Tree, by Shel Silverstein.
I can't say I've heard of it.
They read it in
You're
school.
saying
Okay,
James
wow.
Herbert was a good English horror writer?
He must be here in American. I don't know.
We Yeah, we had
Famous to
like
us, I guess, or
oh
famous
God,
to me.
some of the stuff that we read in school, especially like some of the things that were always like in our schooling. We had
Yep.
some actually really, really good books. Obviously, most people done of Mice and Men.
Mice and Men, One
Um,
Flew Over the
yeah,
Cuckoo's
with
Nest.
Lenny and all that. Yeah. Did you ever have there was well we had one called Mother Tongue,
Mother
which is
Tongue, good shit.
it's yeah, so this is actually like it's like partially a poem, but it's also a book about someone who comes from a different country who's lived
Yep.
there for a long time and they're starting to forget their own original language, and they're trying to teach it to their children to also try and like remember it themselves while teaching their heritage. It's an interesting one, but they were forgetting it. You know what I mean? They were realizing as they're teaching it, they didn't actually remember as much as they thought they did.
We had Indians in
English
the
horror,
cupboard.
Clive Barker, yeah, very good.
That was a good one.
Indians in the Cupboard.
Indian in the Cupboard. Yeah, that was a
Yep.
good book, and
Yeah,
then they
yeah,
turned it
yep.
into a movie later on. But it was actually a book that they used. Fifth grade book, I think. Fifth grade book.
Yeah, yeah,
Sixth grade
yeah,
book.
yeah. That sort of yeah.
And
I think I'm trying to like think of some of the ones that we had when we were really young. Most of them are very basic. I remember most of the books that I actually delved into when I was younger was things like the Goosebumps one. I thought they were so creepy. They were so like, and they had nice little cover up.
Stein was nuts.
You know?
He went on a little
Yeah,
rampage. Short
yeah.
stories.
Oof. Really?
Yeah,
I
he's
love
the writer
short
of
stories.
Goosebumps.
Oh, I never knew who the writer was.
R.L. Stein. Yeah, he's the writer.
Yeah, of course, yeah. No, I can see it I can see it now. I don't even think I've got any of the old Goosebumps books anymore. I don't even think I've got any of them.
Yeah,
They were like
Goosebumps has turned
read to
into a
death.
nostalgic thing. There's a collecting thing where you can get different Goosebumps books that are because I don't even know. Yeah, now that you say that, maybe I'm gonna start looking for
Yeah,
Goosebumps books.
yeah. I'm like, have I got any? I don't think I've got. I would
Start trying
love.
to see if I can
Some of
collect
them are
some
like,
because
some of the stories I can kind of remember if I visualize it. I can't remember too much if you know what I mean. But like visualizing the story weirdly, I can remember there's one like on a camp about werewolves. There's like
there's
fucking
always something like
yeah,
a
I mean
mask
there's
with dummies
yes.
a basement that
Oh
was
the
in the
oh
dark.
god yeah the oh god yeah the dummies ones where it's like mannequins.
Yeah, whatever
I
the
always
fuck.
have a
Yeah,
weird
yeah. I
thing with
think it has to
mannequins.
do with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ventriloquist or something.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Old Chucky, basically. Basically, Chucky.
Yeah, in a
You know, I mean,
way.
this is
For
dolls.
kids.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
Goosebumps
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
eerie
They
for
were creepy,
imagination
man. They were
for
creepy.
children. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
We had a TV show that was really good called Who's Afraid of the Dark,
Yep.
where it was like a
Love
load of
that
kids
show.
met up around the fire, throw the fucking spark dust in, tell a scary story. And we also had Erie, Indiana, that
Ooh,
was brilliant. That was
never
a
seen that one.
great. Oh, that was a great
Erie,
show. It
Indiana.
started and it was just yeah, Erie, Indiana. It's about this guy Erie who moves to Indiana, and like he's on this suburb, like lives on a suburb. Everyone comes out in the morning mowing the fucking lawn at the same time, stuff like this, and it's just like weird shit happens there. It's like a weird little fucking suburb.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's Erie, Indiana.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a great show. Fucking hell, that was a great show. First
Okay.
edition, yeah, Goosebumps would probably be valuable. Yeah, that's not wrong. Yeah,
Oh,
because that would be
100%. Yeah,
nostalgic
yeah,
for people who got
100%.
money right now.
100%. First
You know,
edition, hell yeah. The first fucking run. I think that's
fucking
where
right.
most of the famous iconic things that you may not remember, but when you saw it, you'd be like, oh shit, I remember that. Like the mask or the dummy or
Yeah,
what's the other one? The werewolf or what's the other one? Like they have a bunch of them.
Oh, it's been so long. Yeah, it's been so long.
That'd be a good little collection. Whoever actually collected it to collect it.
Yeah, no, I would actually. That would be something I would collect. Funny enough,
Yeah,
that would
because
actually be
books.
something
So
I'd
to
down
be
for
honest,
collecting.
that's a
Yeah.
good. That's a good wall right there.
Come on, OBS. What you like,
And it was cool because the books had like they were colorful. They were different. You know, they were unique to their story.
Yeah, they had great cover art.
So
Yeah,
the art,
great
yeah.
cover
So it
art.
wasn't like it was the same cover art or the same book. It was always different. So
No,
you
no,
could
yeah.
have, and they were numbered. So
It's like,
you could read
yep.
them in the order because they were like a short.
I remember it
stories
now.
or short,
Yeah,
and they would connect. So
it
yeah,
was, yeah. And if you, yeah, if you put them
that's a
all,
good
that's
shout,
it.
man.
The
Maybe I should
spine,
start
yeah, the
looking. You know, see what I
spine,
could
yeah, the
find.
spines.
Try to put
Oh, the
together.
spines
Yeah,
all
yeah.
makes.
And
I
put
forgot
together
about that. Yeah, they all make a
Goosebump
thing, and
collection.
if you got them all.
That'd be crazy.
Oh yeah, if you had all of one series, I forgot about that. The spines literally have like their own art. If you put them all in,
Yeah, oh, they own everything. That'd be a nice little wall collection there.
that would be a nice little
A nice
collection. Yeah, for sure.
bookshelf. It's enough to turn a bookshelf. I'll tell you that.
Camera's bugging. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Camera's annoying. Standard annoying. Let me just reset my camera. It's fucking pissing me off. Yeah, that would. I think there's probably of all the books of my childhood, those would be the ones that I would not only happily collect, but I would kind of want to read them a lot. You know, I would just
Well,
I wouldn't be able to help
If
myself.
you had the collection and it was
Yeah.
just sitting down on your wall, you could just go pick up and read any fucking short story you wanted.
Yeah, yeah, but then also at the same time, it's like, I don't want to ruin the books. If you find a nice set,
Fuck no.
I don't want to be like ruining none of that, well, exactly that. Even the you say like one of my favorite comics that's over there is from a random artist called the comic's called Wheel 3. It's just a really cool art. Cool art. My camera's having a meltdown, my dude. It's having a fucking meltdown. I'm so done with OBS today.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It can cock off. Fucking annoying thing. Famous 5 and Magic Faraway Tree. Enid Blyton. Oh my god. That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
And fuck your writers.
Mm-hmm. I got some great English writers. You know? Some of them can write me a new laptop, I tell you. Shit.
Why the fuck is my phone working?
Oh, everything's cooked for me right now, I swear. Like, my whole entire setup is trying to explode. It's far too hot. I actually cannot get it to not explode right now. Holy shit. It's gonna do it. Don't do it.
Holy shit.
I'm like, please don't do it. It's trying. Man, I don't get fucking technology nowadays. Balls to it. I still think it would be nice if, like, I know they done a TV series back in the day of the old Goosebumps stuff for, like, it was like a kids TV series similar to
Yep.
Are You Afraid of the Dark, stuff like that.
Yep. They did a little. Yeah. They tried.
It was alright. I mean, they could really bring that back. Again, like a slightly more adult version of it could go down quite well. Yeah, the toaster's burning the toast, that's for sure. We're burning my desk right now. Shit. I don't think there's many other like book series that I would like they done the whole Twilight series to TV. That fucking stuff was so cringe, man. there was probably about 10 years of people gooning over fucking vampires and werewolves.
Yep.
What?
Team Edward, Team Jacob.
Oh my god. Quit gooning over. What? But then again, I did goon over Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in the day. I will not lie. She was pretty
I got
hot.
a limited
Sarah
edition
Michelle Gellar.
Gold plate comic of Buffy with Sarah Michelle
Yeah.
Gellar.
Yeah, she hot. Yeah, she was hot. I quite liked Willow though, to be honest.
Willow, I got that on VHS.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, with Warwick Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, the little short dwarf and Val.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, was it Val Kilmer who was that guy? I always wondered who that was. The swordsman. The greatest swordsman of all time. He's got the acorns and he must protect the baby. Oh. I watch a lot of, funny enough, I think Warwick Jones is hilarious. I watch a lot of him on Ricky Gervais and stuff like that. They done a TV show with him and a guy called Cole Pilkington from the UK who's just like deadpan. Very annoying. But yeah, they went on like a trip around the world doing different stuff together.
Really?
Actually, a very funny series. Yeah, really funny series. A little bit non-PC, but that's all Ricky Gervais' series, you know. They go a little bit hard. Smoke one quick. So you're going to go and see the 28 years later movie?
Probably from
about,
my
like,
home.
burning it.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm thinking about like getting it somewhere. Like, I know a few sites I might be able to pull it from. Because from what I've seen of it, you know, every time I see a thumbnail, if it's not a trailer, then I'm like, okay, I'm not really that interested. But one of the things I did see is that they actually filmed the entire movie on a iPhone. The whole movie.
Oh man,
all
it's gonna
filmed
be
on
trash.
iPhones. I don't know. It looks pretty good. But yeah, apparently the entire thing was done on iPhone.
That sucks.
Yeah, I've seen
I
shots.
really was hoping we'd get
that-
cinema.
I mean, so it looks better than what I expected from the shots that I saw from it. But they were testing a whole new technology in like the way that they filmed, but they were literally using iPhones, which is kind of crazy.
That's sad.
It might give it a more real feel, a bit like how Blair Witch was back in the day.
No.
Maybe. But it's
Blair
not
Witch
really
was a
based
quick
around
friend.
yeah, but it's not really based around the infection as much either. Really, the story's based kind of around a bit more than that. But the infection's obviously still there, you know.
Well, yeah.
The from what I've seen,
Obviously, 20, almost 30 years later, I never figured it out.
no, it seems like they're stuck on like a little island. They segregated themselves,
Well,
as far as I can
the
see.
first one they made it from inner city to the island, right? Second one,
No, they made it up to like Scotland-ish, or close to the island. So that's near where the
second
island
one was the
would be.
island. Then
yeah.
they made it to the pier. Yeah, they made it to the pier. Then second one was, I guess, island.
Yeah, the second, so what is it? 28 days later is obviously London. And there's 3 endings, weirdly, to 28 days later, which the canon one is that they survived. But there is other endings. Then the one after, yeah, the one afterwards is kind of, it's around the same time, but not that much. And it's under a completely different perspective from the guy who leaves his wife when they've got like they're all in the barn, they're all chilling together. They're kind of safe for a little bit. Then the infected turn up because they let a child in, then he gets like separated from his wife, and he decides to leave her with the kids, and they run, and he said, "No, I saw her fall. I saw her fall." Well, anyway, like a long time down the road, the kids and all that end up going back to the house to pick some stuff up, and they find her still alive and not infected, but has been bitten. And it's because of something to do with the different color eyes she has, and they're thinking, oh, maybe she has like a cure inside of her. So they take her back, they get her into the military place, and they're shouting at the dad, you said you saw her fall, and she's in there, like, and he goes in to like say, he's like, I'm so sorry, all this, and he kisses her, and then it infects him, and then he beats her to death.
Oh yeah.
And then the infection just fucking goes wild again. But the kid gets away, and he has the same eyes as his mother. So potentially there was a cure. Now we're 28 years later. Doesn't look like they got away. Yeah, it doesn't look like they got away. But there's mutations now and stuff like this and weird stuff, man. I've been looking into it a lot. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I pulled it from like a torrent site already. Putlocker.ie, just saying.
Tonight? Nice. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can see it. I don't know. It's too fresh.
There's a few
You know what I'm
sites, yeah.
saying? So I gotta hack different.
Yeah, there's a few sites. It was either 123movies.ru, putlocker.ie, either one. Skip past the first 5 ads and it'll play. Don't tell anyone. Nah, there's loads of those sites. Everyone knows there's loads of those sites. Don't click on them unless you're ready to lose your PC. I do that from the Xbox. It's got stronger security.
What? What?
Xbox browser. Yeah.
What are you doing? Oh, so you're using your Xbox to. You're a goof.
Nobody's hacking nothing. What you on about? Nah, so it's just on. It's on like 4 or 5 different sites already. I've had a little look at. I haven't watched it as of yet because I didn't see, how good the quality was from those sites. But there's like 4 to 5 different places that were trying to show it, and I was like, I'll have a look, and we'll see. I think I'd prefer to go and see it like on DVD rather than download at the cinema, and it'll take forever for it to come out on DVD. Cinema's an actual chore.
Nobody gets DVD, bro.
Well, you know what I mean. Yeah, you know what I mean, though. There's no way I'm going to go to the cinema for it. I haven't been to... I think the last time I went to the cinema was to watch Avatar.
Really?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, no. Do you know what else I saw in the cinema? The Bohemian Rhapsody movie.
Really?
With my parents. Yeah. It was playing, funny enough, in the town, just down the road.
Okay, was it good?
And, yeah, we're really good. The guy who plays, what's the fucking guy's name? With the mustache.
Mustache.
What's his name? It's from Queen. Freddie Mercury. Okay, there we go. It's gone. Yeah, the guy who played Freddie Mercury done a great job of that.
Okay.
It was actually a really cool movie. Yeah, it was a really interesting movie.
Nice.
That was the last one I saw there, yeah. Fucking terrible. I need to go to the cinema. Black Adam. You won tickets and had the VIP to yourself with a friend. That movie I have actually seen. That's the one with The Rock, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson, is it?
Yeah, that was That was
And
pathetic.
he's actually Shazam.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually not a bad movie, that one. I thought it was an interesting one. And then I realized he was Shazam. And then I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, they get the
So,
same
I was
power.
like, they had to ruin it.
Shazam.
Yeah, I was like, they had to
is,
ruin that shit.
Shazam is like his
His
superpower.
word, yeah. The parrot word, yeah. Shazam! It's...
Yeah, they get the same power source.
Mm-hmm. That is the word. That's the word he had to say to empower himself up, though, wasn't it? Oh my god, that movie, the Black Adam movie, I thought was quite good. The Shazam movie, I thought was an ultimate cringe. It's terrible.
Well,
I'm like, oh no, these are the same
fucked up
motherfucker,
Shazam
nearly.
and
Yeah,
Black Adam.
shit.
The Rock tried to make it,
It was a bit darker than like I was. I like that kind of style when it comes to that. But oof. Yeah, they didn't carry that trend on with it. That's for sure.
Oh.
It's like the Snyder cut. I always thought was actually
4
like
hours.
better. Yeah, but no, I didn't like all of it was terrible.
Movie, motherfucker.
But the actual like
4-hour movie to watch some bullshit change.
Nah, the model for the enemy was whatever his name was. I didn't even care. It was that fucking shit. But was better. It was better.
Listen,
it looked better.
That's not worth 4 hours.
But then it was way no. Of course not. But then that's all they had because they didn't get to edit it properly. That's why it was just fucking raw cut, wasn't it?
Nah, nah.
There's no way.
Snyder,
There's no way you're gonna make a fucking
Snyder
superhero movie 4 hours. Yeah.
Go fuck off. Fuck you, Snyder. You know who's better? What's his name? He did the Suicide Squad way better.
What? What Suicide Squad movie was even good in your opinion? Because they all tasted like shit to me. I was like, this is terrible. None of them were good. Not one.
You're a mess, bro. Fucking polka dot.
Not
man.
one.
What the fuck am I talking about right now?
Okay. Yeah, the polka dot man one. I know what you mean. Yeah. The one with
that's Suicide Squad, not the corny
John
shit
Cena
they
in.
tried to do like the real.
No, the one with fucking
what's
John
his name?
Cena in.
Gunn. James Gunn beats Snyder any day. Yeah, I'm DC, bro. I'm gonna go DC before I go.
Okay. No, 100%. Yeah, I do agree, but they were bad
doing
movies.
a DC
Yeah.
character because obviously that was like Justice League or what. He trashed,
Yeah,
bro. He
it was all
he
DC,
trashed DC. James
I
Gunn.
thought it was darker than because I thought it was corny.
Nah, James Gunn killed it, bro.
It was corny, man.
We brought the real characters.
It was
back.
good.
It was dark.
It was better.
Corny. You know what was?
It was
corny?
better than the other one.
Will Smith being Deadshot. That was corny.
Yeah, of course. That was the worst movie of all time. And the only thing that saved it was about a 10-second shot of Harley Quinn putting her clothes on.
Joker. You know what else is corny? Ben Affleck being Batman. You know what else is corny?
Fat Man, not Batman. Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying? Like they fucked DC up. Like nah.
They did.
They did DC wrong.
They did. They did them dirty. They done them dirty.
Key in the building. What are you doing? What are you smoking on?
Interesting. I thought the
my birthday tomorrow, boy.
Like the
you better light
no, he's getting old as sin. God. How old are you tomorrow then? 110.
I am gonna be a whopping infinity.
Yeah. 28 years old tomorrow. Black don't crack. It's fine.
Nah. 20. I gotta think of a sweet spot. Yeah, I mean.
35, man. 35,
like,
you know.
I mean?
Yeah.
Big chillin'. Let's go.
Yeah, make sure everyone wish our man Dem Klaus happy birthday tomorrow. And obviously, if you don't get to see him tomorrow, make sure you do it today.
Wishes for children. We bless.
Oh, well. In the words of William Shakespeare, happy fucking birthday.
Did he really say that?
Well, yeah, that's where he's from, innit?
I don't know where the fuck William Shakespeare's from. All I know is that niggas couldn't understand what he was saying. He was speaking crazy tongue.
Yeah.
Shakespeare,
I was gonna try.
one of
Yeah, I
the
was gonna
best
try and give you
rappers in
some
the
Shakespeare
world.
tongue. Yeah,
Sour Gorilla. Ooh, that sounds
yeah. Ooh, that does sound nice.
Sour Gorilla. That sounds diesel. Get out of
Sour
here.
Diesel,
You
Gorilla
made that
Glue.
shit
Yeah.
up. That shit sounds
Nah,
powerful.
Sour
Be like
Diesel,
Sour Gorilla.
Gorilla
That
Glue.
shit
Yeah.
sounds fucking
Mm.
banging.
I'm down for that. Mm. So you got plans for your birthday tomorrow then?
No,
What are you gonna do? No. I'm chilling.
I ain't got nothing, man. I ain't got nothing but just to do some ritual. You know what I mean? Let the legend
Who
cage
was the
open
first
up.
rapper you love to rhyme? Yeah. Yeah, correct.
So it's a mixed breed. Gorilla Glue.
Yeah.
And,
Gorilla Glue
Gorilla
and
Sour
yeah,
Diesel.
Sour Diesel.
Nice.
Yeah, I just
Nice.
literally said that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. My are similar to my Jack Black, which is like Black Hero, Jack Hero and Black Mamba, like classic olds. But those ones are like full diesel flavor for sure, like super diesel. Gorilla Glue's got like it's very diesely as well. I'm finding it difficult to find fruity weeds nowadays. Everything's just so like diesel flavor. Always diesel.
Hey, do you remember when
Do you remember?
you were hearing nah 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 nah? Like everybody seemed to have that. They wanted to say nah 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 nah.
Na 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 na.
Yeah.
Ooh wee.
They would
That
say
one?
nah 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 all the time.
No,
Well,
maybe.
you heard Justin Bieber's nah nah, that's the way. You heard Rihanna's nah nah, that's the way. Yeah. There was a moment in time in like maybe the late 2000s, early 2000s, everybody was just using.
All I remember is the na 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 na. Ooh wee. You know, fucking. It was like a classic hip hop
Well, anyway,
or R&B.
what I'm trying
Yeah.
to get to is that
Mm.
there's ghostwriting in the industry. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, some of your famous people
Yeah.
they write music, but they've gotten to a point where they're so famous and they do so many other things that they co-write with other people, and a lot of ghostwriters write shit. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh yeah,
where
100%.
the industry, you get the forefront of this is where the conspiracy. The industry writes certain things where back in the times I would use what's most common. Metal was considered satanic music. They'd say that
Yeah, it
there
was.
was
Yeah,
stuff
classic.
inside
Yeah.
and,
It was
this and
heavy
that, you know what I'm
metals,
saying?
like demon
Metal,
music, play it
yeah,
backwards.
what
It's
I'm
like
talking
fucking
about, like,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom. So
Yeah.
when people start when they start performing these songs and their big hits, you know what I'm saying, and their jingles saying certain terminology, nah, that's the way, nah, and then it cultivates through everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody hears on radio, this or that. Well, Nana derives from a demonic demon that gives you perceives wealth. Now, that is the son of Esther,
Yes, I've heard this. Yeah.
Esther, which is come from the fertilization of Easter. You know, people think of a
Yeah.
bunny or whatnot because they believe in pagan more. They look for origins. So Easter, when you break those things down and you do certain rituals, now everybody's sitting, people are listening, everybody's saying, nah, 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 nah. You're making ritual chants. You're opening portals.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Man,
Get
words
deep,
are
dog.
words
Let's
are
smoke.
powerful,
I'm
man.
telling
Words are
you, man.
powerful. I
So
tell you, you're
at
not
that
wrong. You
time,
ain't wrong.
think of those songs, and then you go, look how they changed it up. Look how they
Mhm.
went to the top. Look where all the wealth came. Look what was hopping. You know what I'm saying? Because this is radio music. This is not something that you would get personally. You know, people have personal music, and then there's radio. And there's a lot of that happens in radio music. You know what I'm saying? Where you control the masses.
Well, 100%. Do you think that still occurs nowadays, or do you think there's
Well, the
that's
thing is, a lot of
more
people think that
of
these
like
artists are
a
doing it on
past thing?
purpose. I believe some artists know what they're
No, I don't
and
think most of
again,
them know what they're
there's
doing.
artists
Yeah.
is that again they're caught up in
It's
their
like a hook.
whatnot, and other people
You
write
know.
things and then they just do things and then things wind up
But
happening.
isn't that like a hook? So it's like, okay, so
So
you
yeah,
know when
it's
you
a
like
hook. Of course, they put it in the
yeah,
hook
you
for
find a
for the
hook.
chain to chant
But
to
do
let
they
you out.
know? Obviously, there's no way they know what that is. But what
Nobody's
they
knowing
might
that. You gotta
realize
know.
is
You
that,
gotta
yeah,
deep
that
into it.
people react to it. Yeah, people react to it in a certain way. You know what I mean? So like a hook, maybe like I call them.
Music has been used
I've got to be
for
very careful
rituals
on
and
how I
chants
say this.
for thousands
What
of
what do
years.
you call the things with like hundreds of little legs that are like crawling things?
Centipede.
I call them earwigs.
Earwigs are those are they're that's another thing. Wigs,
Or
there's
like,
earwigs,
yeah, yeah, like,
centipedes,
so
millipedes. There's
I was
different
like,
there's different
a
ones.
lot of music is like an earwig. It will just get you, and it's like and that's like a classic start. Like some hooks, just people react to. I
Well,
wonder
some
if it's like
sounds can control people.
exactly, yeah. I wonder if it's a reactionary thing on the people, the artists themselves, that realize that these things are like hooks or like an earwig, if you know what I mean. Things that like people are like, oh yeah, and they keep hearing it, you know. Or whether that is like there is more to it, because in reality, like people work on rhythm in all life, in all of life. You know what I mean? We work to a rhythm of some
Vibrations,
fashion.
rhythm, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How you think
And I
blind
think
people
that's
can
like
move
one
it
of our,
around? They're the
yeah.
best
I think,
with their senses.
oh, I think this is probably one of the crucial things. There's a really cool movie actually. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called it's all gone Pete Tong, and it's
No, I
about
need to see it.
a DJ who goes deaf.
Okay.
And then he has to relearn how to DJ, and he relearns this over like accepting his
Beethoven
deafness.
story.
And then he
Okay.
meets a deaf woman, yeah, and he's like he has his feet on the speakers, and it's a super interesting story, you know what I mean? And it's based loosely around a true story.
Okay.
You know, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in it, but it's super interesting. I mean, it's like rhythm is like almost natural to us in such an interesting way. It's like
Sort of, yeah.
it is almost, yeah, certain beats per minute. I'll catch you too, exactly that, yeah. So I don't know if you know this, inside of supermarkets, shops, fast food restaurants, stuff like that. They change the music that's in there dependent on how much traffic they have in the shop. So if it's really busy, they put on faster paced music because it keeps
Obviously.
people moving quicker. They like if especially if it's a restaurant, they eat faster. If it's slow, it's a little bit slower. And it's very minor in how it's done, but it's done very calculated to keep you there or to get you out. Like one of the two.
Yeah.
It's so clever how it works. It's like one of my friends who's bless
Buffets
him.
rob you. Their plates are slightly
Yeah.
smaller. Their
Oh yeah.
forks are slightly bigger. They're things that because it manipulates the eye, makes you seem like you
It
did
does, yeah, yeah.
like you ate a lot or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, if you go back from multiple plates, you're like,
less,
oh
even
shit,
though you
yeah.
can go back, but that's how they control because that's how they manipulate. So they put air condition.
Ooh.
They put same thing in
Yes.
casinos. Casinos the same thing. That's why they
Yeah,
offer
yeah.
liquor.
Oh, no
Free
windows.
liquor. If you're gambling, you get free liquor.
Yeah. And not only that, no windows, so you don't know
Oh yeah,
what
yeah.
time it
They
is.
keep
It's
time
always
away.
light.
You know,
Yeah.
that's why they control oxygen.
Yeah.
They control
No
everything.
clocks.
You know, the
Yeah.
rush of hearing the slots go. You know the
Ding
environment
ding ding ding
of
ding 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 ding
casino,
ding
the
like this
winning,
every
the
now and
winning,
then
the
just
this, the
comes
that.
through.
It,
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
it gets you all through, and then the lack of oxygen that they can.
People are that's interesting. So people are willing to pay more if the cutlery is heavier. Yeah, that's interesting. So it's
Most
like you're
people
in a
don't
posher
know
place.
440 hertz might be messing with your energy.
There's
Musicians
oh
and
no, yeah, I
safety
know,
heads
yeah,
say
I
it
know a
gives
lot
off bad
about
vibes and could be harmful to your mind. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Different frequencies.
yeah, frequency
100%.
is crucial to life.
100%.
So I do you know
That's
about
why
like
the raving.
monoatomic
That's why
element?
raving when raving big thing. Then it turned
Yeah,
into
it is.
what it turned into. It
Oh,
turned
marriages.
it wound up forming into dubstep at one point. You know what I mean? They had different levels.
It does, yeah.
Because you have bass.
Dubstep,
You have
funny
bass
enough, is
music.
like yeah,
Listen, you can't.
it's
Listen,
subharmonic.
my
Yeah,
man's
it's
bass.
subharmonic.
He broke his windows because the bass was too crazy. And then he
So I
had this
don't know if you know
high
this.
sound that would check the tweeters. Oh my god, we couldn't fucking listen. You probably for years. Like it was
Well,
bad.
like
Different
I've
sounds
played
will
with these
fuck you up,
frequencies,
make you go crazy.
interestingly, because I have them in some of the songs that I
soothe you.
made. Because this is when like I was delving into the realm of monoatomics, monoatomic elements, and stuff like this. And you can get this stuff called Oramus, which is basically monoatomic gold, which is very difficult to explain if you haven't looked into it. But it's like
different
gold's
hums,
not
you know what I'm
actually
saying?
like metal. Yeah, so this reacts to frequency. All
Different
metals
sounds,
react
yeah,
to
different
frequency.
frequencies.
Yeah. So
Yes,
this is like
exactly.
it's like a little cough syrup. You pour a little bit of cough syrup, you have it, and then you play certain frequencies, and it reacts in a way that I was very surprised. It's not like a drug, but it's like it's almost like all of my brain receptors are just like almost like I'm on cocaine, nearly. Like everything's firing fucking quick. Things are working really weird. And it's they have different variants of monoatomic element and frequency sort of like control that works in a
Well,
very weird way.
very interesting that you kind of speak upon this because there was an artist that had a event, and for his event, the odd thing was during the day, weird tones and sounds were being played. You know what I'm saying, throughout the fucking
Yeah,
shit. Very very weird and interesting. And then later on, chaos happened to a point where 9 people were unalived at a concert.
no way,
So
really.
I look at that and I go, listen, what about if somebody controls ears that type of range group? Um, what they're playing sounds, they're doing whatnot. You're listening. Finally, it
Yeah,
was so overcrowded and people were it was so hectic and crazy. It caused almost like a self-destructing situation because
like a weird riot, nearly.
people died. Yeah, I mean, wave
Yeah, yeah.
wave control is real. You know what I mean? It
Oh,
happens.
100%. That's why they
It
have
happens. I mean,
sound
we've
guns.
seen crowds. I've seen
Yeah,
crowds that are
yeah.
ridiculously fucking monstrous. You know what I'm saying? Like people get energy, rowdy, but to be to a point where yeah, I don't know, to unalive, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
Man, there's like a lot of things happen in
So I believe in
in like mass
frequencies and
movement.
then the whatnot. A lot of the fatality
Yeah.
asphyxiation, which means they couldn't breathe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So
one of the most
so you
common
get
ones. It's
stuck.
like crowds
You ever seen
rushing.
that
Yeah,
torture where you're getting
crowds.
stuck? So
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time you breathe, you're losing breath because so many people
Oh,
conjuncted together like a fucking sardine. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And then the energy, and then everybody's what if you get stuck down like so. The frequencies that were heard all day made people crazy.
It's a I that's an interesting theory. There is. I'll give you a counter one. Again, I probably don't disagree with what you're saying, but
No, I don't know.
there's
It's
yeah,
fact or not.
yeah.
I just
So
think it's interesting because
no, no, no. I
talk
do.
about
I kind of I
conspiracies
kind
and
of agree.
the fact that
Yeah.
weird noises and sounds were playing all day, and then
Well, here's
at
a
the end
counter
of
one.
the evening, it winds up being like a tragedy. It's kind of
Do
fucked
you
up.
think it? Okay, so here's the counter one. Do you think it's like so when like for example, there's a lot of different cases of this where like these things have occurred, say in football stadiums and stuff like that, where people get a little bit manic, everyone's like crushing against each other. There's kind of too many people there, and then this kind of death happens, like asphyxiation, which is fucking terrible.
It's not the first one.
But
So
this
it's
also
happened.
happen.
It's
Yeah, it
happened a
happens
few
in a
times in
lot of
musician
places.
history.
But not only
I
in
think it's
music
8
places.
times.
Do you think it's mass hysteria, as in like, or like, so not only this, one of the bridges we built in London once, it's called the Millennium Bridge, goes across the fucking river. It's freestanding. There's no supports. Everyone's walking across it the same day. Everyone walks kind of the same, so the bridge starts to sway like this. It looks like it's going to fucking collapse because so many people are walking to their own kind of pace that's almost the same as everyone else's, which is like a natural rhythm. But that almost caused like a huge fucking disaster, similar to like mass hysteria does, where people are all very excited. Maybe things are overcrowded, and people get like pushed and squashed. It was
Nah,
horrific at one of the Liverpool games
you're
in Liverpool.
overcrowded.
Yeah,
You're overcrowded and you're going crazy. And
silence
there's many
does make
there's
people
many
crazy too.
elements
Yeah.
to add and whatnot. But when you get a lot of people, cattle in one area, and
Hmm.
their sole purpose was fun, because obviously that's what a concert is supposed to be. There's not some
Yeah, but same
any
stampede,
form of any nature of like danger. So you have too many. That's why you have to have crowd control. That's what control of things need to be because people are there. It was only set.
Do you
for a
think
certain
that's?
amount of
I
a
don't
time.
think that's
So
to
now
do with the
everybody's
music
just
though.
going crazy, and things just went
Oh.
just went out of control. So you would say
So
lack
do you
of
think?
communication, and then you would say again, I don't know if they provided alcohol. I don't know any of the factors. I'm just trying to
So
give the
the
factor of just
like for
too many
example, like
people overcrowded, going nuts
oh yeah,
in one little spot.
it happened in. So we can discuss it now because it's calmed down a little bit. It happened in New York. Everyone's trying to protest, which is fine. But then that's like crowd mentality gets to crowd mentality, and then things change. Now, this happens within nightclubs. This happens within large groups in any area.
Mm.
Like, it doesn't take much for things to change very quickly. And then if there's a lot of people, I'd say one of the worst things I could ever imagine is dying in a fucking nightclub through being squashed to death through asphyxiation. Like, that
Well,
has
that's what
got to
I'm
be
saying.
horrific, man.
These young people went through. I mean, the last thing.
Yeah,
that
I've seen it.
hearing
It's
was,
happened in clubs I've been
some
in.
weird
Yeah.
asshole singing, like the concerts great or
Yeah.
even that cool, whatever. You're because you're young, you're part of the hype of what's going on, and you're supposed to go enjoy yourself and turn.
Yeah, and
it's
everyone's
almost hell on
pushing to the
earth
front. Everyone's trying to push to the
and
front.
turn
Everyone's
into
trying
an
to, and if you're at the front,
yeah, like the what they
oh,
call that. They in the ocean. It's called something.
it's like a
waves
yeah,
push
it's
you.
a wave. It's a wave. And do you know what? I used to, oh, this is so sad. I used to say this is one of the best things that I ever experienced while DJing in a club that had like a couple of thousand people in. It's like a wave of people crashing when the beat drops. And it's like a wave. Everyone's hands up, and it looks like a wave. But then you
Yeah.
think, if there's 20,000 people, 10,000 people, those people up front are fucked.
Listen,
Like, it's,
we've had some.
everyone's been in the ocean, man.
We've had some.
Why do you think they call it crowd surfing?
We've had some incredible
know?
moments, man. Woodstock '99, Woodstock '69.
Well, now Woodstock was
Incredible
when they
moments.
actually
I'm talking about
they
over
burnt
at
it
least
down.
200,000 people in one spot.
Yeah,
The guy
they
had
burnt
to,
it down. Woodstock.
they had to take a Woodstock '99.
Fucking
They took
Lincoln
like
Park.
a military base to put it at. That was a lot of people.
Well, what was the one that but it got completely burnt down because it was Lincoln Park who came on.
Oh yeah,
And
Woodstock
they done
99
a
Woodstock
yeah
99
yeah
was
burnt down.
infamous.
It was
You
hell
got
on earth.
Woodstock
Man.
'99, which is the originated and
fucking
obviously peace, love, and what
yeah
it
exactly.
was.
And then
And '99,
the
our era, we fucked it up. We went Rage Against the Machine style. But I'm
well
telling you, that's a lot of people, a lot of waves. Shit.
apparently Lady Gaga in Brazil had 2 million people there.
Listen, DMX
Fuck
set,
that.
DMX set's the hardest set that you'll ever see. When they showed DMX on stage and they showed that crowd, that shit went for miles.
Oh,
There was
man.
so much. It was that was the hardest in career. Whoever was at Woodstock '99, that crowd was legendary.
Well, because was it because they done
Legendary.
it was because who set up afterwards? Because I know they kicked off because it was after I'm sure it was
Listen,
Linkin Park.
like
Then the song
everybody who
Smash
was
Shit.
hot was there.
Yeah, it was Smash
the
Shit.
way they did it,
Yeah,
they were smart. The females
and people
performed
kicked off, man.
during the day instead of nighttime because nighttime got crazy. A couple of
Mhm.
going after Corn. Yo, when Corn set was nuts. Bush
Was
went
it
after
Korn or Lincoln who done? Yeah, who does Smash stuff? Which song's called Smash? That is from Lincoln or fucking? It was one of the rock bands that done it, and people rioted, literally
Oh, it
rioted
was a whole
in the middle of the
insane.
song.
Like, how you gonna calm a
Yeah, they
whole?
started
You're
burning
200
shit, and it was
people
on the
fucking
final
bugging
day.
out, and Corn just ended, and it's at 2 a.m. Bush had to come. Bush fucking calmed
Oh.
200,000 people with his music, and I thought that was dope. That was crazy because I was like, how you gonna come after Corn? Is crazy hard.
Korn is like they're like one of the
They killed the
classic
set.
fucking
Like,
OG.
they killed
yeah.
it. It was a crazy time.
I've seen Incubus live once
A
at
lot of
the
people,
Earls Court
a
in
lot of
London.
people
That's
talk about it and they
crazy.
go, it wasn't Woodstock '99. No, peace, love.
Well,
It
no,
was
it
a
shouldn't.
different era. It was a turn of a new
It's not
generation.
60s.
This was rebel stage. This wasn't
Well,
the
exactly.
peace,
It
love.
was. Well, here's the thing. So I think Woodstock, generally, most people think of Woodstock as like 69,
Well,
sort of like,
exactly,
you
the
know, that
peace
era
and
of
love,
love,
because
peace, and all that.
69 was the
But then they
originator.
didn't,
But
they
had
forgot,
what?
like,
It was
they went through the
69,
70s, the 80s, the
93,
90s.
and then it was 99. And then after that, we've never had another one.
Well, no, but you went through fucking punk rock and everything after that. You know what I mean? So it's like proper anti-fucking establishment punk rock. And then you come in at 99 when things are like just basic rock rappers around, fucking hot, you know, like
Yeah, that was
everything.
like the
There's so many
forefront of
different
Limp Bizkit, like
genres.
it was
Yeah.
the new, it was the turn, it was a new generation.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit. Oh, it was Limp Bizkit. That was it, not Linkin Park. It
That
was
was
Limp
where
Bizkits who done it.
the
Yeah.
term new metal came. New
New
metal.
metal,
I
yeah.
was wondering
Yeah,
how
they were the one who
metal
done
guys
Smash
were
It, yeah.
having, because that was a battle. Because now it was, you know, that metal that everybody knows, Satan music backwards, to
It was hip hop
on
metal.
to like all this new bands that were bringing that metal sound, but a new way to it. And I was like, how are they gonna take that? To be honest, I'm a
Do
new
you know
metal
what?
guy. I like new metal.
Yeah,
I
same,
like old
same.
metal
That's
too.
my
Don't get
like
me wrong. I'm
skating
an old
music.
metal rocker, but new metal is
There's some
my
old
era.
metal I can get down with, but I like
You know, I
I
like
like
Korn,
punk
9 Inch
in like
Nails,
certain areas.
Marilyn Manson. Like them boys are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, for me it was always like cringy. You know what I mean? It'd be like, you know, the OG like Papa Roach sort of era. You know what I mean?
And in the same, they're in the
That
same
sort of
category.
era.
Same category. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like not like some like so Marilyn Manson was great. Korn, Slipknot, stuff like this. They were a little bit heavy for me for some of their songs. Some of them
Legendary.
were yeah, but I thought for me I would classify that as more heavy metal, nearly. Or no, it would be
Legendary.
thrash metal. Sorry, thrash metal.
See, you
So
all
it's like
you damn English people in your damn
yeah.
categories.
Well, because
Flash
it's
metal.
because what else are you gonna call it?
The fuck out of
Thrash
here
metal,
with your
thrash.
bullshit.
Yeah,
Flash
thrash metal.
Disrespect.
Thrash.
Don't you ever
Yeah,
disrespect heavy metal
thrash.
like that?
Well, you better look up the fucking terminology then, so you know what it
Terminology
is.
of what? What the fuck is
Thrash
flash metal?
metal. Thrash metal, like
Oh,
thrashing
thrash metal.
someone. Yeah,
Thrash
thrashing
metal?
someone.
Fuck is
Yeah.
thrash metal?
You don't know what thrash metal is? Oh my god.
What's
He's out
thrash
here telling
metal?
me about fucking shit. Well, look it up.
Listen,
Find
if you
out.
play me Rancid or you play, I'm gonna be like, you're stupid. That's not thrash. That's
No,
fucking
thrash metal is it's like heavy metal, but it's like newer heavy
No,
metal.
how
It's
about
like
you just call it punk, like it's supposed to be called, instead of
no, because
you
punk
trying
isn't
to
punk.
create? Huh?
No, punk is like punk's more too like as much slower. It's much slower. Thrash metal is like heavy fucking ripped out guitars. It's
That's
thrash
heavy
metal.
metal.
Most people would say no, it's a bit different.
metal.
Thrash metal was punk metal crossover. Yeah. There we go.
Nah. You just like to create your own. Y'all like to create lanes. For some
God
reason.
literally just says this. Thrash metal was the punk metal crossover.
Y'all
Yeah.
like to. Y'all like to. Now, see, yeah, y'all like to create.
Look it up. Look it
weird,
up.
Y'all like
Look it
to
up.
create weird genres
Look it
and
up.
whatnot. Y'all some weirdos.
He says I'm wrong. Look it up.
Y'all some weird. Yeah, y'all some weirdos. You got like to create genres.
No, we like to actually organize things into correct categories rather than just have it a free fall of bullshit.
Categories is the.
Oh, you're like rock music, and then you can put fucking you know, you can put people like maybe the king himself along with Slipknot. No, rock metal has different categories.
Funny how there's no such thing as even that term.
There is thrash metal. You're not spelling it right. TH. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just don't know how to spell it right. Right? Yeah. Well, let me put it in music.
Thrash metal. Yeah.
Junkyard,
Yeah, I know Gore actually had his. Yeah,
album,
Gore. We're gonna have to
Blood
actually have you on the
Royal,
show
and
sometime as well.
Back Alley Grits. What? Flash
Yeah.
metal may refer to a variety of music by Peter Banks. Some say sound like a follow-up to Yes 1970s album Time and a World. The album includes the songs Small Beginnings, Children of the Universe, Morning Haze, and Dreams of Heaven. Then you have
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know if I would agree with that.
Rocks is an EP that blends different traditionals to create heavy metal, fast, fun, and furious. Flash metal.
Yeah.
Is a loud sound
Kinda.
to describe albums like Lay Down, I don't know, Black Sheep. So Flash.
Gore, you gotta guess with us sometime.
Exactly. You created motherfucking goddamn stupid ass motherfucking
Categories
no
to
reason.
describe what? No,
No
categories
reason.
to
It's metal,
describe
bro.
what
They're
type
metal,
of
baby.
music.
You just try to describe certain things. Heavy
Where?
metal music. Look at that. Boom.
Okay, so what's the difference between R&B and rap? Or
R&B
hip
and
hop?
rap. There's a
Yeah.
giant big difference. R&B has
Well, exactly. Nah, they're
harmonizing
the
and
same
singing.
thing.
Rap doesn't have no singing or harmonizing.
Well, guess what?
That's why
They were
R&B
the same
and rap
category for a
collided.
long time.
You goof.
They were the same category for
No,
a
they're
long
not
time.
the same category at all.
Yeah,
you
well, I
goof.
know. And
You-
neither's thrash metal and heavy
No,
metal.
It's not. I just looked it up just to
No,
fuck,
neither's
there it is.
garage and fucking, jump up.
No,
Neither's. All of them are different.
No.
No, man's wrong.
This guy. Hey, Bones.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
right.
wound up getting HIV.
Yeah.
Oh, which type of AIDS do you He's gonna give me
Brain AIDS.
this guy. Like, oh, you're good.
Yeah,
You only have
brain
type
AIDS,
A,
yeah.
not type B.
No, hell no.
This nigga.
I ain't fucking people.
You're crazy, Flash. That's funny.
I'm correct. Here's the
No,
thing.
you're not.
So Gore actually, Gore worked for a radio
No.
station for a while, or had his own radio station for a while. Sorry,
What the fuck does a radio station have to do with anything we're talking about?
because he knows about different
This
types
guy
of
tried to
music.
pull somebody from his chat.
Because
like
okay, Klaus, you.
Well, yeah,
so
exactly,
What's a radio
Callie.
station have to do with music?
never
Yeah,
been, I know. I'm trying to talk to my man.
They always
here.
been the
Like,
same.
he's
they
bugging.
always been the same.
He's bugging.
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
always
no.
been the same.
It's Flash.
At what point back in? Okay, so at what point back in the
metal-
fucking when
metal, rock?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, there's certain genres
Man's
that are
chatting
just like old. Folk, you know what I mean? Music, jazz, like
country. Is
thrash
country
metal
different
is
to?
a category you just somebody created in a garage. Like, yeah, this is
Thrash
cool,
metal.
man.
Motherfucker has no idea. You're out here like literally categorizing things into 5 categories. You're gonna be telling me that fucking
I've given you
strawberries
correct
are bloody
categories
fruit.
for certain things as you're giving me categories that you for some reason.
You're telling me
Thrash-
strawberries are fruit next. I
thrash
tell you,
metal.
you're gonna tell me penguins are birds. Jesus Christ.
Next thing he's gonna be like, what have we got?
This
What have
motherfucker.
we got we're gonna no.
A lobster's a fish. It's in the water. No, it's different.
Listen, I don't understand why you guys do the
Yeah.
category thing like that, but you guys do weird category things like that.
Well, exactly. Yeah, because we have to like figure out what's what.
What
If
do
you
mean
shelved
figure it
everything
out?
up
How
in
about
this-
you just stick to the category that we give it, and that's good. You know, instead of
No.
you trying to figure it out to what a category. If it's metal, leave it at metal instead of going, oh no, I think it's thrash metal. What the fuck?
Let's just listen to the originators of the English language here and let us actually define how the dictionary works. Y'all can pick it up later down the line.
Originators and how the dictionary works.
You can pick it up
Yo,
down the
Bones
line.
is a dictator. Holy shit.
Yeah, fucking right.
Get out of here.
You can,
That's funny,
but then
though,
again,
that's
there
funny.
was a word that you did look up. Yeah, it did exist. It wasn't a fake word. Yeah.
You all do categories. I was always
Yeah.
wondering about that.
Yeah, Gore says it's because music evolves and changes into a new version. I do kind of agree.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I think
the
that's why
most
we
common for
categorize it more.
hip-hop, The most stupidest transformation would be mumble rap. Like, that shouldn't be a category, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. You know, I can't argue about it.
Well, it's the
because
same as
obviously there
drum
was
and
a
bass
more-
and
There was
stuff,
more
yeah.
than 5 idiots out there that decided to not know vocabulary and put it on music, and now
Yeah,
it
yeah.
became something. Because, you know what I mean? If you
Well, I
look
think-
at mumble rap, there's a lot of mumble rappers. There's only like 5 of them. She made it famous to be stupid.
So, what would you classify? So, I'm sure you'll remember the song. Do you remember 21 Seconds by the So Solid crew? I got 21 seconds to go. I got 21 seconds to flow. You know, that sort of thing. What would you classify that? Because we gave that an entirely new genre. We called that garage randomly. But I'm sure that was a variant of hip hop back in the day. So Solid crew, 21 Seconds. It was, how many artists was there? A load of artists. They had 21 seconds per roll, but it was like garage, but then it was like drum and bass, but then it was, well, we call it garage, sorry, but it was like hip hop, drum and bass. Weirdly, we called it garage.
Right. See, you have
No idea why.
You have all
No
these
idea
different-
why.
You have all these different
But
categories.
what would you,
for-
if you heard that
your
song,
drum
do you
and
even
bass
know,
and your
like,
slap and you're this or whatever? I don't even know what
Eh.
you're saying right now.
I guess a new genre, doesn't it? Have you not ever heard the song? So Solid crew, 21 Seconds. And that was such a classic 2000 song. Such a classic. You have to look at it.
I have to look it up. I guess I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
get it. Like I said, the 2000s era was transformed.
Mm. It was transformative in bad ways in some places. I'm not gonna lie.
You had a lot of
2001,
R&B
best
mix.
album of
You
all
had a lot
time.
of
But
R&B mix coming through. You know what I mean? So a lot of singers connecting with rappers, and that's where
Usher,
formed out.
yeah,
You know what I mean? What is it? You had Ja
I find
Rule,
that like,
Ashanti, or J Lo. I think
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and then like for the new era, I guess you would say like now saying like doing a song. So when R&B connected with hip hop, it kind of forefronted because before it would be called, I guess you would have what there was called conscious rapping. You know what I'm saying? Because it was about knowledge, and then it would transform to East and West, which was
bracketing,
different. The West brought that gangster rap, which is a whole different,
right?
whole different form.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
bracketing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
So
East Coast, West Coast
the
rap
East.
and
So
all
when
that.
you
Yeah,
listen,
yeah,
when
yeah.
you saw the
Bracketing.
battle before like Biggie and Pac, the battle was really gangster music moving in a different way because the West Coast was different. East Coast was that conscious, like knowledgeable type of rap. So that was the battle. And then Biggie and Pac came through. Now they gave a face to the battle. You know what I'm saying? So it was wild, and then it took until the late 2000s, I think, or where South finally made a, what I'm saying,
Yep. Yep.
or the South actually
Close.
had an interest in hip hop, and where they actually broke the forefront to where they're in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop's only 52 years old compared to every other genre. That
A
are
lot of
way older,
categories there,
way
Klaus. Yeah.
older. Way older.
Mm.
Music's ancient, bro.
It is. It is. I do find it's like one of the it's like I've always said this, music is actually probably one of the most universal languages that we all
Language,
kind
yeah,
of speak without knowing. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, well, like we speak it without even knowing we do.
You could talk to
There was
anybody
there was
with music.
well, I remember this, and obviously, there's probably a few times I've been down the club or been down the pub and heard some good music. But there's been a couple of festivals that I went to weirdly, and it was about 2 a.m. in the morning. We'd had a long night with friends, and I can hear this fucking beat, and it's just like thum, 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 thum. It's coming, and it was like a driving beat. It was a driving beat, and I was like, oh my god, I've got to go down to this tent, see what this is, see what's going on. And it was like probably 4 a.m., maybe 5 a.m. in the morning, and I was sat down there with like 4 or 5 guys in there, and that literally felt like the tempo my soul beat to. I was like, it was like a drum calling me from the distance. It was so weird, and it was only an hour set, perfection. But I was just like, it was just such a vibing sort of feeling, and you can't really get that from anything else.
I don't know.
I don't
When I
really
was
understand
younger,
like
when I was younger,
anything
like
that's just
15, I
straight
got to
there.
chill with this family, and he had a garage band. It was dope. Every weekend or like every other weekend, some people would show up, and the garage was just turned into a studio. Like jam out, let's rock, and it
Yeah.
was cool experience that because you know what I mean. Like musicians are wild. You know what I mean? They were crazy. They were rocking. They were rocking crazy shit.
We used to have like I say I had like most of the people where I used to live when I lived on my own for a long period of time, we all had our own turntable setups, all like doing our own different DJing stuff. A lot of people played instruments. There was a lot of like just jamming, I mean, just clean jamming, which is it's so nice to see. It's very
It was the
different to
only
like
spot
structured
where I
stuff.
could go where I found interesting where hip hop was everywhere in a way. Like I kind of enjoyed it. Like every to studio there was some type of freestyle or some type of something event happening somewhere. Like it was really cool because New York, that's a natural thing. It's
New
like
York looks great
New
for hip
York, New
hop,
York
man.
is a natural thing, but to see
It
New
looks so
Orleans
good.
do it, I was like, yo, New Orleans, all right, it's hip hop, cool, it's
I've
good.
been really enjoying I'm sure I don't know if you've seen the stream. I might have shown him a few times on online. Is Ari Online
Harry
or
online,
Ariat Online or
okay,
Ari ARI
Harry,
ARI
I
at
don't know.
AI act online. So they're like a street DJ, like
Oh, and he
freeform
runs
street
around with it,
DJ.
but the equipment includes
Yeah,
a
yeah,
beat on
yeah,
the spot with
yeah, yeah.
people. Okay, yeah. I think I've
And
seen the
people just
video.
roll up, man. Yeah, yeah. And that's he rolls around New York a lot.
Oh, that'd be
The
nice. Okay.
talent, yeah,
That
yeah,
makes
that's his main spot
makes
generally.
sense.
The
New York would be a
talent
perfect
is
spot for something like that.
good,
Like I
man.
said, a lot of street
He did
performance,
say
a lot of street shit happens in New York, man.
he was a bit like, it's a bit too much, boom bop. Everyone wants the old like boom bop like style, and he wants to like go to the like little bit more EDM with it. But they managed to make some incredible songs.
Yeah,
I was like, man,
talent's
this
crazy.
guy is super
The streets of New
talented.
Orleans, man, seen crazy talent. Crazy talent.
Mm-hmm.
People with great voices and fucking shit, like crazy shit.
Well, street talent is probably one of the most interesting.
Street talent
It pops
is
up.
interesting. I love
Yeah.
street talent.
It just pops up out of nowhere. Like, I'm always one for like if I see someone, we call it like busking in the UK. So it's like if they're doing a street performance, they got something out, chuck some money in. You know what I mean? A lot of this you have to have a license for.
Oh yeah.
Which is actually stupid.
It's a
you know what I
venue
mean?
breaking whatever.
Yeah.
That's what makes street things do and whatnot. Vegas is different. Vegas ain't new.
Mhm.
Vegas, they will come and arrest you. You see cops roll right up
Yeah,
around you.
yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. There you go. You ain't got a permit. You ain't. Get
Yeah,
you
yeah.
out of here. Like some places are
That
like
fucking
that.
sucks.
Other places a little bit, but again, like I told you, law, so it's a little bit it's a little awkward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the Ren performances, before I'd even seen him pop off over on YouTube for probably his most well-known one, which is High Ren, which he done a great performance online for YouTube on. He was a street performer. Yeah, he was a busker. You know,
Ren
yeah.
perform on your streets or
yeah,
something like
bow,
that.
you know. Yeah, so he's a street
Ren,
performer.
Ren's went through the circuit. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? The man obviously
Oh,
had
100%.
of a medical story or whatnot, and builds to his character, but he went through the circuit. You know what I'm saying? He's
he got
he's
fucked,
just a
man.
little bit
He got
younger than
fucked
us.
by
You
it.
know what I'm saying? He's
Only a
went to
little.
the circuit. He understands. He had to fucking go through the streets. Then after made it inside a couple bars, making a couple clubs, you know, fought his own personal demons. But yeah, he went the circuit.
I think like I didn't realize for a long period of time. Obviously, I used SoundCloud a lot. Like that's where I used to put my music
SoundCloud
up. That's where
rappers,
most
SoundCloud
yeah.
musicians.
So
A lot of
that's
people make
so
career
yeah.
off
That's
SoundCloud. You know,
man. That's where you start. That's where you put your music up when you start. That's just generally the place to go. Nowadays, you can do it to Spotify if you've got a an account for it. Luckily, I do. You know, but I'm not gonna like post music on there. I will be posting our chat shows on there, just so you know. We're going to get to 5 episodes, and then we're going to lock down the channel on Spotify. So they've got some stuff to watch, you know, some content. But the Spotify is SoundCloud, sorry, is generally where you would start as standard. And Ren on SoundCloud back in the day has some bangers. They're all from back in the day.
Okay.
And so it's a great place to
I
actually
used to
like, discover
upload.
new musicians.
I'm go back old. I used to upload on a site called MySpace.
MySpace. Oh my god, yeah. I remember MySpace. Yeah,
MySpace,
I got
and then there
MySpace.
was a music MySpace. So the music MySpace was more set up for musician type style status. So that's how I pumped music out for a while. And when that site went down, I lost a lot.
Put it all onto SoundCloud, man.
I lost all that music.
Do you not have like any backup for it in any fashion? Can you use the website Wayback Machine and go and find it? Maybe.
I've been trying to look for MySpace forever. You can't break into MySpace. You can't get nothing.
No, I'm still part of like some weird because that became Facebook, didn't it? In a fashion.
I don't know. Did it? I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it did.
Was
Yeah, I
its
think
own
it did.
entire entity, but I know. MySpace
I think they
was the guy eating up, was the
integrated.
guy eating up. And
Yeah, I
was
think
like,
they got
hey,
eaten up.
We'll
by
pay
it,
you
yeah.
out. You know what I mean?
Because I have some weird. Oh my god, this is so weird. I have like an old like dating profile on a Facebook thing called I Like Q, and it's just a Q, you know, at the end. I still get random messages from that. My account's been fucking turned off for about 20 years. It's like, how am I still getting messages from weird sites?
Some companies are smart, especially when you do it on the come up. And somebody's doing good, they'll pay you off and be like, "Look, man, we gonna buy you out, pay you good." and continue what we're doing, because what do you do to your competition? To take them out, or they
Well,
join
exactly, yeah.
or something?
No, yeah, you integrate it. You integrate
Right.
it.
Either integrate,
I mean, shit.
you take them
What the
out,
fucking hell do you think
or
happened to all the scientists
or you
back in
do
World War
something
II?
because that's the competition. So,
You know, there was now.
how do you think Google was formed? They ate Netscape.
Yep,
Netscape
they
got
did.
eaten up.
Do you remember the
See
old
you
site?
later,
Oh, do you
Netscape.
remember a site called
If
Ask
Google,
Jeeves?
if we didn't have if it wasn't Google, it'd be Netscape.
Hmm.
Is what we'd be using.
Well, no, originally it was the pop-up fucking paperclip. It was the paperclip thing originally. Then it got there was multiple sites that were similar. One of them was called Ask Jeeves. Google was one. Google just absolutely
Netscape
fucking
was
ate these things up.
The father, and then Google came.
Was that
through. Google came
the
through,
original?
and they did a good
Yeah.
business deal. Whatnot, ate them up. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, they
Now
yeah
we
they
have-
swallowed everything.
Now we
man.
have Google, which is good because they still have a few of those, because I think you still use Yahoo. Is Yahoo still around?
Possibly, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I use Bing more than anything, to be honest.
Generally, Google
I don't
pretty
actually-
much became big dog, big dog.
Yeah, Google is so. Oh, this is very interesting. So I'm wondering like how this works, because if you're at that level that Google is, you've got competitors, things like maybe Bing, maybe say Yahoo, stuff like this that do exist. If you were to swallow all of these competitors, that means you'd be breaking like corporate law. You can't own a monopoly over any market.
Well,
You can't.
if you go back into 92,
So are they just letting them do it?
Bill Gates won that, so your argument's dead.
Yeah.
Bill Gates already handled that.
Well, how did you win it though? So because this is still law, so you still to this day cannot do it. This is why Activision and all this have problems in a lot of Europe, because of them joining Microsoft. They were trying to stop Activision joining Microsoft because they were saying they're going to hold a market share over too much certain stuff.
Microsoft won. Bill Gates had that.
They did.
Microsoft won that. That's why Microsoft technically does hold a monopoly. I mean, that's what they call.
They
gatekeepers,
do, but
you know what I'm
isn't that
saying?
against
That's
the
why
law?
people gatekeep,
Yeah, isn't that
you know,
against
you
the
become-
like
you become the
universal
point of
marketing
gatekeeping.
law?
So,
I wonder if they're
money-
ever gonna. I don't.
money.
Do you think they're? Well, okay, obviously, but do you think this is ever gonna hold? Because there's either going to be
Microsoft's
some
been going
like.
strong for many years. What do you mean? Is there?
Well, it'd be fucking eventually. It'd be things like we're going to be the
companies that are
United Kingdom of
complaining ain't got the money
Microsoft
to be with
and
the
the
big dogs. They
United
had the money
States
to
of
be with the big
fucking
dogs,
United
then
States
they
of
wouldn't be
Tesla or
complaining.
whatever.
Because that's really what it boils down to. That's what it gets to that point.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
I was
Elon
always
built
yeah.
his company all the way up to be boom, boom, boom. You know, Steve Jobs.
Well, yeah, they couldn't
fucking-
stop him. Yeah,
fucking
they couldn't stop him at a
Fables,
certain point.
fucking,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bill Gates, like
Yeah.
they all built their company, even with the LSU doing and had the arguments and their money. Microsoft is everywhere.
I always wondered if it would ever like fall through, because I know that there's a lot of
That's
like,
why
I know
Bill
a lot of
Gates
countries have
was
stopped
pissed.
stuff,
You know what I'm
you know?
saying? To be
yeah.
was angry.
Yeah,
and was about
I'll
to
be fucking-
fire. Actually, he did fire the whole Xbox team because these 5 motherfuckers sitting in Microsoft building in the bottom were doing something cool, and it's a software company, it's a computer company. That's what Bill
Fact.
Gates was like. Yo, this is what it is. But they
Yes,
built that.
truth,
Bill Gates
truth.
came and said, "What the fuck you doing, wasting my money?" I mean, he went hardcore, and then when he saw the money making of the aspect of it, he was like, "Wait a minute." I was like, "Exactly." Now he changed his tune. You know what I'm saying? And Xbox was
But the thing is,
boom.
I mean, the whole of like, so for example, right now, I think the Microsoft, if I'm looking at it from like the perspective that law will ever be enforced, which likely is not, is
Because
very close to holding a massive
IBM
market.
had a problem
Yeah.
because every PC that came before now PCs are kind of a common thing in people's houses, but before it wasn't really considered, you know, kind of you got money type form.
But it'd be similar
So
to Apple.
when you got
nearly.
a PC, you automatically got Windows. You see the connection? They're like, wait a minute,
Exactly.
now you
Yeah. So
there was the combo. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And it's a heavy monopolization on software, as not
Great,
hardware,
dude. You
but
got
software.
fucking Microsoft 95 was
I use Windows
life
10.
changer. Then
Just so you know.
98, then 2000, 2001. You know, now we got Windows 11. You know what I'm saying?
I
Whatever
use
the
well, I
point
use
is.
Windows 10. Yeah,
You
I
know,
can go to
whatever the
Windows
fuck it
11,
is.
but I'm not
the
going to.
point is that
No, there is
that
11.
was
Yeah,
what
there is
started
11.
the argument of the monopolization. Bill Gates, I think, 2-3 years going through that. It was all publicized and everything, and he won whatever because Microsoft is everywhere. You know, Microsoft is
Weirdly,
a fucking
didn't Bill
gatekeeper.
Gates try to take motherfuckers to space as well? Didn't he try and take them up on a fucking rocket to like near orbit?
Oh, Bill
Was
Gates
it him?
is part of a lot of crazy scientific shit, bro.
He was one of the original ones when he tried to like send them to like send people like celebrities to orbit. Was it him?
No, I don't think he was fucking with celebrities like that. Yeah, he was being more of a conglomerate.
It was so... No,
and
there was
celebrityism like towards
who was the
early
first guy to do
2000s
it?
or whatnot. So
Is it the same guy who
it was
sent the
this other
fucking
rich
celebrities to
English
space
dude,
recently?
Your English guy,
Oh, I can't remember his name now. Yeah,
your British
it's
guy.
on the tip of my tongue.
He's
It's
the
driving
richest
me
man.
mad.
He's the second guy that's done the same thing, but doesn't have so much notoriety like Fables in that bracket. But he's a rich dude. Like he's fucking got money. He's got investments. He was an actor. He's a British dude. English.
Yeah, it'll pop into my mind
To
eventually.
space or tried to, and we're like, we stopped.
Yeah, because they had like I thought it was the same place that done the Blue Origin rocket.
Yeah.
What's his
whoever
name?
Your guy is.
What is fucking name?
I forgot his
That's
name.
gonna drive me mad. Yeah, I can't think of his name now. It's gonna drive me mad. Richard Branson. That's the guy who owns Virgin. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Richard Branson. Yeah, he was the first guy.
Yeah.
With the fucking long curve, the long hair. Yeah.
Long gray hair. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Rich dude. Yeah. Him.
Yeah, and he took him like close.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But he owns like Virgin Airways.
Money,
yeah, Virgin
money
Airways.
is your
Yeah.
gateway. You can pay. You can think it.
But why do so why do all these
try.
people try and randomly do that? So not only has he done it, obviously Elon's been fucking with space. Obviously, a few of these people that got a lot of money be fucking with space.
Right.
Why do people want to be fucking around in space?
Because we never conquered it, bro.
Well, I believe that, but we can't get past the Van Halen belt, so
Because in
We will
retrospect,
die.
the way we look at it is that if you look at the body of water, you can't fathom that human beings are from that. So you got to think.
we can't. Well, we can't get to the bottom of that.
You're coming from the top instead of the bottom. But it could be reversed. For all we know, the inner core of our Earth could be a whole harvesting system for some type of alien that we don't even know. Feeding
In a world shit, you know. Yeah. I will say though, the fact that we cannot get past the pressures of our own oceans,
right, pretty intense.
is insane. And then you're like, oh, let's go into space where we don't have the protection of our planet's literal fucking shield.
The things, yeah, it's crazy.
You're gonna cook.
Stuck.
You're gonna
in
cook
between
alive,
two
man.
things, but yet in that in between, we do such incredible shit.
Yeah, it's wild. It's so wild the fact that we do this. I still think the moon doesn't exist. Well, it does exist, but I don't think it's real. I think it's a terraforming device. I think it actually
Whether
appeared
it's
around
terraforming,
13,500 years
whatever,
ago.
that's
Yeah.
still real.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, it exists. Yeah, it exists, but I don't think it's what we think it is in any fashion. It
A lot
cannot
of
be
things I don't think
the
we know-
size it
we know
is,
what
and
is.
it cannot be the way it is.
A lot of our knowledge is used by somebody else's brain. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? There's nothing that actually gives us the facts or fiction. We just go by
Well, so I wonder now why
believe
we're
it.
so interested in going back to space again.
because we never fucking figured it out, bro.
We'll get down to the bottom of the fucking ocean, see what's down there. Jesus
Can't
Christ.
figure that out. We figured out that deeper the pressure crushes, so we can never get down there.
Yeah.
That's all we figured out.
So are we
far.
gonna roam so far away from our planet that it's a speck? You
Yeah,
imagine the
as long
isolation,
as a
like the
human
isolationism.
doesn't die?
I don't think
that's
of the
welcome to
mind can-
experimenting. As long as you don't die,
Have you ever? Oh,
you keep going. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole.
There's a
point
movie.
of the frontier.
there's a movie called Pandorum,
Yep.
and it's about. It's gonna take a long while to get there,
Yeah.
and a load of them wake up. The ship's all fucked up, stuff like this, and after a while they realize like this thing Pandorum is basically like an insanity that occurs through like traveling through space for a long period of time. Now, obviously, certain people had to take shifts to keep the ship going,
Okay.
and they developed this Pandorum, which is like it's like a mental illness where it's just like you're so isolated from everything, and when it comes to a head, it's pretty interesting because the ship itself that these people wake up on that's like derelict and fucking destroyed, they think's floating in space, and they're getting fucked up by these like alien creatures, which is obviously partial horror movie.
Okay.
But they realized that they'd actually landed on the planet, and they're in the ocean. They've been there for 900 years. You know what I mean? And like the people that had woken up on the ship had evolved into this species, and they send out the pods. But anything, the actual the mental illness itself, like what they classify as like the Pandorum, is crazy because it's, you imagine being so isolated like that. Like this is like I have thalassophobia, so I'm terrified of like deep ocean, like deep open ocean, whether I'm sat on the top or anything. You imagine deep space.
No.
Fuck that,
So,
man, because there's no way you can
same-
go anywhere.
Same situation, just take the horror factor out. So say
Yeah.
the ship holds over 300 million people in cryostasis.
Yeah,
And
something
the
like
ship
that.
is
Yeah,
go to a certain area it's because whatever, right? Well, your pod opens up.
yeah. Early.
Now you're sitting there going in this beautiful
Is-
ship that has all, I mean,
Is
it's
it
it's a city, it's a planet of itself.
Is it the
But
guy?
you're not in cryo.
I know the movie.
So now this is where the twist comes that gets crazy, right? You're going on a trip that, is like 800 years. The reason you're crazy is because it's preserving you to create that, to get to whatnot. So now
To get that, yeah.
in retrospects, you're living the rest of your life on a ship by yourself
With no one.
with nothing, because
No one.
everybody is in whatnot, and everything's functioning, everything by
A
yourself.
robot bartender.
The robot
And a
bartender,
robot
yeah, okay, so you know what I'm
bartender.
talking
Yeah,
about.
I've seen it. Yeah, I know exactly what you're
and then
talking
you
about,
do
man.
that,
This
you
was
open up
savage.
the
Yeah.
motherfucking thing to that. That's
Well,
horrible. But
do you know why?
I don't
Yeah, because
know.
he was looking through the logs, man. He's
it
looking
doesn't
through the
matter,
logs.
bro. What he
It was
did
so
bad.
savage when she,
What happened on
when
the
she found
situation
out,
was
man.
fucked up. I couldn't. That would be crazy to live like that,
Oh, it
because I
was-
feel that's your whole life. That's what you're doing, and you just made somebody else.
It
You
was
forced them to have a
you,
life
you,
with you.
yeah. It's it's nice that they kind of like reconcile towards the end to an extent.
I mean, whatever.
Did you see the
story
very
to
ending?
write, whatnot,
Yeah.
but just
Yeah,
I'm just
to an
looking
extent,
at
yeah.
factors of things, because I
The
like to be
fact of that,
that's-
because the
you
fact of
force
that, you
somebody
imagine
to
that.
pretty much be
What
their
would you
doom.
do?
Technically, she could have
What
killed
would you
bro.
do? What would you do, man?
I,
Would you end it?
just what I was saying. She could have killed him and been like, "You fucking ruined
Yeah,
my
but
life."
would you like? What would you do before then? Like, so, say for instance this occurs, and I've seen what you're talking about. So you wake up in the middle of a very long journey. You're never going to see the end of this journey in
Ever.
any sort of fashion. But you also have limited access to absolutely everything. You're the bum on the ship. So you're getting porridge every day.
That's
You know what I mean? Or
irrelevant.
something
That's
like this.
irrelevant at one
No.
point.
But here's an interesting. But here's the thing, because he doesn't get to fix this at all. He tries to get through the doors to the captain's areas. He tries everything for a really long period of
He
time,
doesn't have
to
access
the point
certain
of where
things. He can't
his
fix
only
anything.
companion, the only companion is this fucking robot bloody bartender. And it gets to a point where he gonna fucking end it, and he's in the airlock. He gonna fucking send himself out, and he decides no. And it's because of like he starts looking through the logs of people to try and find someone to help him to be able to get out. But then he
You
stumbles
fucked up
across
right there.
someone
See,
that
there
he
you fucked up.
no,
Listen,
but he stumbles
you
across.
can't be looking to find anybody else because your bad luck that your fucking cryo machine broke. and
Yeah, but then,
malfunction.
but the
You
problem is
are
the
now
reason it
playing.
broke. Yeah, but
You are now playing.
you forgot
God
how the movie works.
by doing anything
No, but you
to
forgot how
anybody.
it works.
You fucked up.
No, but you
Nah,
forgot how it works. So the ship was going to
nah.
kill everyone. He had to get in there because it was damaged, and they had to deal with the reactors.
Right. Let
Like the
everybody
ship
go,
was,
bro.
yeah.
It's
So
destiny.
what? So no. So what is it? It's like it's the old theory. You've got a train coming down the track.
So
One
you
track has
saved
2 people
mankind
on, the other
to
has
let the
1,000
voyage
people on.
go and lived out a whole life, and also ruin another person's life who he groomed to fall in love with him at the end because she had nobody else in her life was see the journey either.
Agreed. They could have opened more pods, but they didn't, and they sacrificed that.
They could have opened more
for
pods,
this.
but that would
They
have
could have.
caused havoc
They could
because
have.
who's going to be the one that's going to turn around like you fuck what the be
Well, exactly. Yeah. So, and they made their decision.
Right.
And the actual decision in the end was, it wasn't a decision of like, oh, we wanted this. It was a very harsh decision to make, and it's like we're stuck with this. But I think the guy originally previous who opened that,
why
he made the bad decision. He could have opened a different pod.
he could have opened no
He could have
pod and
opened
just let
any
everything
other
go.
pod.
It's either open everything
What?
up and go, hey man, this ship
But
is
that was
malfunction, or let
yeah, but that was
everything
the end of
go
mankind for him.
and let
No,
it
because
go.
it was the end of mankind. That was literally it. It was the
That's
end
what I'm saying.
of mankind.
Either save mankind, open everybody up, or not.
No, but you can't
anything.
open everyone up. That was the thing. The ship was it wasn't possible to do that because the pods weren't supposed to open. They were malfunctioning.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But he
and
malfunctioned
and it
one
was,
to open up for his personal game, which
he
was
did,
a
he
girl.
did.
And
Because
that's where the fucked
but
up
she talked him
is, you know what I'm
down.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
she
get you were
no,
trying to
it's
save
fucking it's
mankind.
fucked
I
up,
get
man.
you were trying to do what you would do, but that one action,
Yeah, that
personal
action
gain,
was
you
bad.
know,
But
in
it did
your
save
li-
him.
while you're sitting there
It
looking
saved
at
him.
that robot,
It did
you
save
know
him.
that you're never gonna see the ending of what you're in the situation you're on. It's like you're at
No.
a never-ending bus stop. You know what I mean? The bus is never coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like, so if he didn't open any pod, they would have failed. Now, the fact he opened that pod was a poor decision in some areas, but they succeeded. So, is it a poor decision? It was a fucking shitty one, you know, but they actually done it. So it's like, okay, I'll give it them. And like when all of the crew woke up and they're where they're meant to be, and there's a fucking tree growing out of the middle of the ship that they planted, you know, where they dug through the ship and they fucking planted a tree, and there's a tree growing there. And it's like, I get the whole like poor decision stuff. It was fucking shitty. I mean, like mankind is kind of crazy when it
That's
gets
what
to
the
that
tree
kind of stuff.
represented. It represented like it was passion, but how long
That
it takes
long,
for a tree
yeah.
to grow
That
healthy
long,
pretty
yeah,
much
yeah.
represented
Yeah,
how
that
much,
long.
how much life they
Time,
listen.
yeah,
You
they
were
put into
fucked,
it, yeah.
bro. You weren't in cryo
Yeah.
freeze. You were never ever or do anything. That was your life. That shit.
What was that
That's it.
movie called? That was a very cool movie.
It's a wild movie.
That was a great movie. I can't remember what that was called. That was such a good movie.
The Passenger.
That was,
Passengers.
I think it was something like, yeah. Because he was like the lowest tier on the ship as well. So it was like and I think he spent quite a long time doing stuff before he done it. But yeah, God, I remember when he was looking through people that he'd be able to like get out, that would be able to help, and then he just fell across her logs and then just lost his mind, you know, through like loneliness. That was so sad. Because when she found out, man, come on.
So,
Where you knew us.
So in
Where
retrospect, if they didn't fulfill, it was a waste of time. So he was like, it wasn't about saving mankind. It was about himself, because if they didn't, it wasn't like he fucking got her because she knew what she was doing. He got her because of personal gain again. But
yeah, he
they
wanted
figured it out.
to
They
be with her
saved things,
together.
Everything worked out. And then she had to make her decision because it bugged out. I was like, she can kill you. She came through and realized, because I like how they went more humane. And if you think about it,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Like somebody's just automatically going to to whatever she had to bring her grasp. And I'm sure she thought about it. She's like, rest of my fuck.
Well, exactly this, and it's like they were there was such a like they were very lovey-dovey for a long period of time before the fucking bartender, who's the robot, said about it, and it was like, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. The robot's weird AI. They made it too humanly type shit.
It was just an interesting, like, that was one of the more interesting movies I've seen that, again, sort of like will give you a rough idea on probably how bad it would be to traverse deep space. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, one mistake.
I think the aliens,
whole fucking life, and that's an.
Well, forever, like generations. You imagine how long it would take to the nearest, go to the nearest
his whole
place.
legacy is done. They didn't
Generations
have no
and
children.
generations and generations. Yeah.
They didn't have anything. His legacy is over. Whoever.
I think. Oh, I don't know if I'm.
Future and really don't know what happened. You just know.
Did they not have children? I
Changing
thought they had
mankind.
children.
No, they didn't have anything. They just lived old.
No. Man. That was that was a very cool movie. This is what I'm concerned about, like, in reality. Obviously, I know we can't go into space that deep. Anyone who says we landed on the moon doesn't know.
And
But
the
you imagine
movie
trying to
you're
go to
talking about
Mars.
was even crazier. Not
Yeah.
only was the ship fucking broken and the ship, everybody
Yeah.
inside went nuts. So the ship was also underwater.
It was under the sea. It was
Yeah.
under the sea all the time.
Yeah,
They'd been
it was
there
underwater,
all the
it wasn't even
time.
in space, it wasn't even everything.
They were already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like it was
And
actually one
that
of the
also,
captains
fun fact,
previously
that
who lost
also
his mind. Yeah.
Segue a leak to Prometheus.
It does. Yes. And oh my god, Pandorum was one of like my favorite movies from back in the day. It was very underrated, but it is legitimately it's like it's a very interesting movie because they always think they're stuck in space on a broken ship.
Yeah, you think it broke,
And they're trying to fix it.
Space, and like I said, some of the crew
No.
turned fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
Or no, well they didn't even realize that. They thought like aliens maybe attacked them. But no, they've been there 900 years.
right? There's a lot. Yeah,
And the
there's a lot
crew
to
that
it,
had
yeah,
woken
yeah.
up has evolved over time, you know what I mean? To just be the way they are because they're stuck where they are. And these people keep waking up. And weirdly, this happens because one of the captains originally ends up, Peyton, I think it is, ends up with Pandorum. And he loses his mind and he controls the ship like a god for ages. Like
Right.
pure fucking tyrant because he loses his mind.
Yeah, in the captain's room, he's locked in there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's locked in there, and it's actually they're the same person. You know what I mean? It's
Same
it's
person,
fucking
exactly, yeah,
weird,
yeah.
man. It's
It's an insane
so
movie,
weird.
it's wild.
Yeah, that's a very cool movie. I love like sci-fi horror that gives you a little bit of things to think about because it's a bit different in it, you know. Like people are predictable, but the unknown is very unpredictable. Although the new Prey movie does look kind of shit, or the new Predator movie does look shit. Just saying.
We not. But all right, my friend, I think it's time to wrap up whatever the fuck point we're
It
trying
is.
to prove here.
I don't think we ever found one, but your time is always precious, you know. Appreciate it.
Yeah, today is adoption day.
Oh my God, when's the puppy
Felix is gonna
coming?
Go adopt his son. I'm looking at him. Bro, you gonna be a dad?
He's
now.
looking
Time
at
to
you
grow the
like,
fuck up.
bruh.
Time to grow. He looking.
He's like,
at
we
me
going to the vet.
He don't want to be. He don't want to be a dad. He's looking at me like, who you talking to?
No, oh please, no.
No, but hopefully
My
everything's good.
hands.
You know, what I mean, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna bring the new member in and work.
Has he got like really how young?
About 5 weeks, I think, 6 weeks.
Oh, needle teeth.
Yup.
You get him something to chew on. Yeah, get him something to chew on.
Fucking rope.
Right.
That's the.
Yeah.
Just let him attack that.
That's it. And just let him fucking wag a rope with
chew
knots on the
he'll
end.
just
You know
chew
what I
on
mean?
that-
Yeah.
chew on that thick rope for
Yeah,
a
get his
while.
teeth going. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. Look forward to you actually posting some pictures or going live
Well,
with him
once
whenever he does turn up.
once the smoke settles and if everything goes smooth, obviously he's the size of a small pillow, so I could show him.
Oh my god.
He's gonna be a big
Chunky
boy,
boy.
though. I'm telling you, males can be up to
Uh-huh.
125. I'm like, God damn.
Oh, it's gonna be massive. Absolutely massive.
And then
Love it.
in 2 weeks from now, I'm actually gonna figure out full information because I'm bringing him to the vet. And I'm gonna get some blood tests and some official paperwork done on him and see who. what
Okay,
it is.
nice.
Just because,
Yeah, look forward to
again,
seeing.
I'm very interested in my dog, XL Bully, right now, American XL Bully, and this could either be a King Corso or same breed, but it's a Spanish breed.
Pony
and
Corso,
it's
yeah.
big, yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing him.
So I'm
Looking
gonna
forward
try
to seeing him.
figure out-
But yeah,
markings are pretty good. He's a good brindle color.
hopefully by next week when we do the next show, where I believe if we can get it organized, we might have the incredible JC Strive come and chat with us for a little while.
Okay.
Yes, talking about some of the OG stuff that he's been involved with. You know, I want to
Okay.
pick his brain a little bit if he's willing to get down.
The crash.
But yeah, until the next one, guys.
Yeah, the great hack crash of '93 when we hacked the Gibson.
Yeah. The classics.
Listen,
The
my
classics.
hacker name was Crash and Burn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oof. Crossfader.
Mess with
The
the
same.
best, die like the rest was the quote, baby.
Oh shit. Hey, I look forward to it. It'll be a great conversation. Great conversation. Yeah, until the next one, guys. You know, pleasure, Klaus. As always, if everyone already here hasn't gone round and showed my man some love, make sure you do slide over to his channel. You can find him on pretty much every platform that you can find me on, bar Nemo, because he keeps getting banned. Until the next one.
I'm back. We got like 53 people watching us over there.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
All
Yeah,
right,
until the next one, guys.
To the next.
Eyes and ears open. Blue. Wash your feet. Mm-hmm. Oh, an absolute joy to Mandem Klaus. He's always a pleasure, as standard. Yeah, we'll be back next week for the same sort of stuff that you can check us out on YouTube. For now, I'm going to dip the stream out and restart so that I can waffle on and play some more games. But you know where to find me. Till then, bye-bye.